because their lineup functions with pickoffs from the bat, the clock, or the mask, with the sunstrike. So if that doesn't happen, then it's going to be tough, But we'll just have to see. Because Invoker can kind of deal with the creeps as well with the helm. You push out with your helm creep and your Forge Spirits. So that's one way of dealing with the creep pressure. But
I wonder what the story is here. Are you seeing this all chat? Have fun, best friends. Would never think Execration and Yangon Galacticos are homies or anything like that.
Why not?
I mean, I just have never seen them interact, or
they
haven't played together.
Kind of wants to fight with everyone in SEA. We hate everyone.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I'm not familiar with the ecosystem. I just kind of
in the ecosystem.
Okay, look. Here's my justification, okay? I think that Yangon Galacticos have always and still continue to mostly exist in their own bubble. Like, we haven't really seen any of the Burmese players venture out very far. Closest thing we've had is maybe KSH standing in on one or two of the other teams. And, like, I think most recently with JG stepping in just because Haw went on a competitive break. That's it. I mean, the Galacticos have basically stuck together with this stack for what feels like ages, and it doesn't really feel like they interact much with the rest of the teams in the region.
Okay, fine, you got me. You have a a point.
This is the one team that I can say that about. I think every other team, there's been mix and matches. Every Filipino player has likely played on Execration. That's a different story, right? But yeah, Yangon,
Wait,
I think...
How true is that?
I don't know. I actually want to find out, because I feel like there has to be less than 10 Filipino players who have not played on Execration.
I mean, let's just look at the current close qualifiers.
Yeah, let's look at the... So...
There's a Philip... Okay, Nemesis. Akashi, has he played on Execration?
Okay, funny enough, Kuku
has never played in Execration,
of all people,
right?
has never played on Execration.
Dude, Akashi has never played on Execration. There's already two people.
Yeah, but Akashi's new. Akashi has like two teams,
I mean,
bro.
He still counts.
Okay, sure. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
The Ivory guys mostly. So it's like if you've been around.
Mac also has not played in Execration.
Okay, I'm quite surprised that Mac. I'm surprised that Mac has not played on Execration. Doesn't he look like he'd be an Execration player?
What the hell does that mean?
You know what I'm what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is that if he was posing next to like the whole bunch of Execration guys and he had his arms crossed, Execration jersey on, and then they had the hashtag XC shot at the bottom of the... I'd be like, yeah, that's an Execration player.
You are on something right now, I'm telling you.
What I'm on is the truth, Winter, and you can't... Okay, all that aside, Execration, all those jokes aside, I think this hopefully is a bit more of a competitive match, because I think YG, it'd be cool. It would be really, really cool to see them start popping off after what feels like quite a long period of not really achieving much. I want to say, like, this is not even Flame, right? This is just factual, unfortunately. Maybe we'll see.
Why do you...
2 for 2.
Why do you not believe, there's always hope?
Is there? Winter? You saying that is rich. There is always hope. Winter Dota, the person who...
If someone can win TI after playing TI, 9-10 times, right? It means anything is possible.
Okay. Okay, that's true. But you are also talking about literally crit. Perhaps one of the noted best position force of all time, even when he was not winning TIs. Would you consider any of these players on YG the best in their role?
Why are you trying to bait me into this sort of answers? I'm not gonna answer.
Okay. Well, I can answer, because I think Young PH and KSH have always had that somewhat, at least for me, that feeling that they are just like the right mix or the right patch away from popping off. That's my opinion. I feel like I've seen KSH, Young PH put on some pretty solid performances. Hopefully they're able to do that. Do you think the game is kind of on this TA last pick, or who do you think is the main person we're focusing on YG this game?
I think the Mars and the Bat. Yeah, even the Clock.
Okay.
I think this trio has to get a lot of work done with the Sunstrike kill steals, If they can actually achieve that, I feel like they could play a very, very fast-paced game, right? Because their lineup revolves around splitting around 2 heroes here and there on the map, getting pickups with Sunstrike, right? So that's how you're trying to get ahead in the economy battle, whereas Execration, they are much better together, you know, as a unit, and they can shadow push with Earthshaker, they can shadow push with Snapfire. Those are 2 heroes that can push waves from far away. I mean, Konka with the X-Mark can kind of maybe do it, but you also have to show. I mean, you can X-Mark yourself and run out and Tidebringer and Torrent one time. But I think overall, if Yangon can find a way to split up the game, like split up the heroes, try to play across all bots, they'll be having an advantage with the pickoffs.
Yeah. We'll see whether they're able to pull that off. For now, laning wise, everyone doing pretty okay. No one really being pushed out per se. Don't let the numbers fool you. The reason why the Snapfire has more quote-unquote CS compared to his offlaner is because of the cogs, right? Like, Loon is trying to get harassment and burn the mana.
It still
counts. Okay, how many cogs for one melee creep? I think that's like
4.
Like three or four, right? Like $10 per pot. It's like when you pick up those shitty gears on the road and then you send them into a recycling factory or something, they give you like 5 cents. It's like not enough to make a living. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, when you're talking about your 5 cents, you know, Bob is taking things serious, taking down the Invoker.
Right, my bad. Sorry, Bob. Didn't realize that you were just gonna solo kill the Invoker.
We kind of mentioned a little bit as well, right? This matchup is gonna be very hard for the Invoker. I mean, Konka has a very good matchup here because in terms of CS, he is going to be able to use his Tidebringer to his advantage, and not to mention, Invoker kind of hates, you know, all this like small little harass in the lane, you know.
Yeah.
So he's always like getting pushed down or pushed out of the lane consistently until you have the Helm. The Helm of Iron will change things quite a bit.
400 more gold for that, but Bob still putting the hurt on and progressing very nicely in the levels. The one upside is that I keep coming back to this, even though you say a lot of the YG game is going to be decided by this pick-off squadron of the Clock, Mars, and the Bat. I kind of feel like the fact that this TA is having such a great early start, she could be the one setting the tempo and forcing objectives early as well.
Yeah, but you still need your team to set up for you, right? It's not like you can just show up, oh, you're gonna kill everyone. You need the Mars to set up, you need the Clockwork Bat to be in the right position, have the right items.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it's different, you know. But at this rate, the game might not be decided by the TA. It might be decided by this mid matchup, right? Because Konka is building quite a decent lead already, you know. If he gets another solo kill with level 6, I think that this is going to be a very big problem for YG.
Yeah, for sure. What kind of items are you expecting this Konka to go this game? Is he just kind of gonna go into
basically
the early Blade Mail X, that kind of thing?
Is he gonna go greedy or is he gonna play for his team, right?
Yeah, I'm asking you if he's hitting the Radiance, the fat burn damage, or is he going to tank up and do his goddamn job?
Which is what, to tank?
Yeah, I mean, isn't he the frontline? He's supposed to sort of give... I mean, the way that I see the draft, right, is the Konka's out in front, he has the Rum buff, he's impossible to kill with the right items.
He's going for a kill.
Oh, okay, Young
nice
PH. Nice cold snap, yeah.
He was telling the support to come over. The snap was already nearby, getting ready for that level 6 move there. So good heads up play by Young PH to stop the combo with the cold snap, but he is still in a lot of trouble. He can't lane right now.
He's 2 levels down, yeah, he's just being pushed away. Here comes CML, spotting him out. Uh-oh. Young PH. I mean, they do end up losing the Sven in the top lane. CML does need to be pretty careful. But Young PH can't cast any spells because the second he presses anything, the Siphoning Ward is just gonna heal CML. Young PH's game is ruined, but on the bright side, they do kill the position 1 of Execration.
I don't think it's an equal trade. The mid kill and whatever damage they are doing to the economy of the Invoker right now is way bigger than the Sven dying here.
Oh, some of these stacks being cleared up as well, Bob. Starting to swipe them down. The supports on the side of YG are sapping some of the EXP though. Both supports here as well for Execration to try and control the rune. And would you look at that?
They lost most of the creeps though. This is not good.
Yeah, a regen rune waiting for King Bob as well.
Yeah, this is like the game telling you, this is your game, man.
Yeah, it's all yours, baby. Loon, nice big stick charge. We'll save him for now. Cookie off the mark. Nice dodge there.
Can I kill him? This might be
Young
big.
PH coming in. Bob, yeah. His Admiral Rum has popped. Lun narrowly surviving on a sliver of HP, and he's gonna go back to that regen rune. So that almost turned around there for YG, but they don't lose any heroes, so it's not too bad.
Oh no.
Did they?
Pogna took the rune over the...
Oh.
Okay.
Alright.
Kunkka is probably... I can guess what Bob is saying to his team right now.
Yeah, why did CML take the rune?
I think he was really low, but still, you know, I felt like he could have just let the Kunkka take the rune and he TP'd back as the Pugna and they get X mark on the Pugna to come back.
Oh, look at KSH making a big play here. Trying to contest. I mean, they know he's here. Put the sentry down and gun through that refraction. KSH still a tough customer. Lun gonna come and back him up. It's quite a bit of damage though. Shanks might just drop to the deck first still with the second refraction. CML coming in to punish. It's gonna be 2 for 1 at the end of the day, and they still secure the Shrine of Wisdom. One last swipe from King Bob. Killing spree for the Kunkka.
Bob.
I mean, his game is just snowballing out of control right now.
Bob is the man this game. He's been doing every single thing. That was really, really crucial because that could be YG's ticket back into the game, right? If they are able to snatch that Wisdom Shrine away.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
I mean, overall, it didn't really cost YG a lot, right? Sure, you lose your carry, but it's just the carry on a pulse 5. Meanwhile, Young PH getting some much-needed recovery time in the mid lane.
He's going Blade, yeah. So he's taking your advice. I'm quite surprised.
Wonderful.
Knowing Bob, I was like, oh, this guy is probably kind of a high radiance.
No, okay, no. I'm telling you, like, you are Malaysian, Chinese, right? You are in a Malaysian Chinese family. Your parents raised you a certain way. I'm sure. No, I'm saying, I'm sure they raised you like with some degree of strictness. Would you agree?
Okay.
I'm gonna take that as a yes. All I'm saying is that Leon Arthur is the angry Malaysian parent of this team. You know, he's telling them, stop buying greedy items. You need to look out for your team, okay? And Bob's like, yes, okay, I get it. Like, I'll buy a Blade Mail. I won't buy a Radiance. I'll do my job. I'll go make rotations. And these rotations net them another kill on Young PH.
Yeah,
it's looking so
is,
easy
like,
for Execration right now.
This is the kind of game that you could get away with because you're so far ahead. You know?
Are you trying to influence him?
Oh, that was big. Okay, he got the deny. Bob kind of... He actually was giving the last hit to the Pugna. But the Pugna didn't get the last hit.
Oh, is it like
Is he actually a different person? I actually don't
has he
recognize this
changed?
guy.
Wait, who is he? What the hell?
The old Bob would have never given any last hits or kills or whatever it is to the supports, you know. He is a different guy. I'm sure. Can someone check? Is he actually Bob?
Is this the right?
Is this actually Bob?
Is this real Bob? Did he go through some sort of intervention? What's happening? Nice D-ward there from Lun though. That's a crucial deep observer ward to get out of the way. Just to try and secure a bit more farming space for your Invoker. Pressure starting to ramp up though, 2k gold lead. The Sven, he's not doing the best, neither is the Earthshaker, but at least their map is kind of open for them to play with the help of Bob. Down to this bot lane, looking at KSH, but I don't think you can dive this TA.
I mean, Bob has a Blade Mail soon, 1 CS. He's going back for the 10-minute rune, and then he's going to come back bottom. I mean, the TA is the only one that's... Actually, the Mars is also having a pretty decent game.
Yeah, Mars is chilling, man. Tino?
Invoker is the only one in in the trench.
Yeah. Big Echo Slam, you think? Tino? Setting it up. Oh! That's gotta be one of the best feelings, man. Big Echo Slam. You much of an Earthshaker player, Winter?
10 years ago, yeah.
Okay. When's the last time you hit a big Echo Slam? Is that something that you...
I've never played Earthshaker for a long time.
Man. Hunting for the Sven. Would love to grab Palos up onto the high ground. Zorain gets distracted by CML. They're a bit split right now. There's the bolt, stunning up the Mars. This was their opportunity and they biffed it completely. No level 6s on the supports. You weren't ever gonna get that long range initiation. That certainly was a bit weird, I'm not gonna lie. Skill kind of burning himself up because of the facet as well as the Blade Mail, and Bob's not done. Still looking for a target, trying to find him in the tree line. Torrent gonna latch. Beautiful stuff. Mega kill streak for Bob. I mean, you talk about this being his game. It's been his day so far. The previous series as well, just performing excellently.
Man, what did Arthur do
what
to this
did
man?
Arthur do to this man?
He's not diving. He's doing everything he needs to do. He's helping his team. He's not buying greedy items. He's not throwing.
He's
Okay.
buying BKB second item after Blade Mail, brother.
Whoa. He's buying BKB after Blade Mail.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Arthur did something. Like, I don't know what it is, but whatever Execration are paying him, they need to double it.
I want some of whatever they're doing.
Yeah. Like, I don't know whether it's a diet thing, whether it's a pep talk thing, but like, Leon Arthur cooking. And for those of you who aren't as familiar, Leon Arthur, of course, one of the best to do it out of Malaysia. He's previously coaching Alliance, and I think earlier this year made the switch back to Southeast Asia, came to, you know, help Execration out. And since then, the team honestly has really improved. So, props to him.
Yeah, they're in a very, very good position in the game right now. All thanks to Bob.
Yeah.
What they are hoping to do right now is to just make enough space for Eros to farm on the Sven. He is like the key hero that could deal with the TA. I mean, TA against Sven matchup is, I think, quite okay for TA. Because you can't possibly get like 1 or 2 shotted, right? Because of refraction from Sven.
Yeah.
I think Sven is really good because he can just delete heroes, but not against TA.
Yeah. That's what makes this TA last pick pretty nice as well. I think carry to carry matchup, you kind of shred a lot of the bonus armor that the Sven gets.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking about the Radiance. So they kind of can deal with it with the Radiance, right? And Conquer has such a big lead, you know.
Yeah, I actually wonder whether they'll run into issues killing the TA later down the line, because they don't really have damage over time other than like what the Snapfire Kisses burn, but that's not really reliable.
Yeah, he also has a very good build.
What's going on
1
here?
4 1.
Okay.
He actually also has the ricochet facet, which is
Yeah, I noticed that a bit earlier on. Is that the norm now over the full ball?
Not exactly. I think most people still prefer full ball because full ball is better. I think in the team fights, like this facet is only strictly for the lane. You know, it doesn't help you. It doesn't help you in the team fights.
Sure.
So I'm not really too big of a fan.
Oh, the Snapfire that was played earlier had it as well. Looked pretty solid.
Was it him? I think it was him, right?
Was it
I
actually?
think it was him.
Oh, yeah, okay, well,
dude.
I guess it's just a personal preference thing then. Yeah, it was Shanks. The breaks have been long, you know what I mean? It feels like a different day of Dota at this point. That's what happens every time we do these close qualifiers. I feel like the breaks end up being pretty long, and then you just kind of like... It's easy to lose track of like what happened earlier in the day, especially when games go 3 series. Looks like there's a setup. Here in the bot lane, YG smoke up, trying to find an angle. But was that spotted by a ward? Look at the movement from Execration, immediately backing all the way up.
Because look at the map, no one's showing. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, they're bringing too many heroes in the smoke, so it becomes obvious, right? Somebody has to push out the bot, and Invoker's TPing down. It's a little too late. But they
CML's
might
gotta
still
die.
find a kill, yeah. This is not a non-consequential kill, right? If you're Execration, you don't really care.
Yeah, and we saw this a lot from Execration earlier on in their series as well. Shanks in particular, when he was playing that task, he would just run in, force spells out, and after you use your spells, you don't really have a lot of options. I guess it's a bit different now for Yangon because they have so many tools, right? They got the hookshot, they got the lasso, they got the Mars Arena, and they didn't even need to use anything to kill off CML there.
Yeah, but they brought so many heroes. That's why it was bad. They had to waste a lot of time, you know, like 4 heroes moving in that area, instead of like they could be across the map farming, like farming ancients, pushing out waves.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why the draft has to cater for things like this. You know? You have to be figuring out, okay, what do we like? You know, do we need this? Do we need that? How do we play? How do we play the game? What is actually important? All these are the important talks that you need to have before you shape up your draft. You know, because it is important for you to know that and then decide what you want to draft.
Yeah. We'll see whether that missing component of Yangon ends up really hurting them for now.
Yeah, I mean, you just
4K
look at the mini map right now.
Yeah.
Execration, they are really speed up, right? They are all across the map trying to farm, and because they push out the lane so much, Yangon has to like TP back, Mars TP back top to push out the way, but he might actually die to this catch here. And
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate.
This
Just
is how
missing.
you create the opportunities to catch people. And you see, they have to commit the echo, but let's see if they can get any counter kills back.
They're gonna try and pressure out Tino, pull him into the Sunstrike. That's gonna be a dead Earthshaker. TPing 3 heroes in 4 actually.
Yeah, Earthshaker is definitely fuming that the Sven didn't use his ulti to get that kill.
Yeah.
They took a little bit too long, so
Yeah, right?
died.
Like, dude, at some point, Palos started walking over to the other side. I'm like, he's not dead yet, bro. Like, where you going? But Bob now...
He thought it was an easy kill.
Yeah, he's like, it's done, you can have it. He was trying to be charitable, but ends up paying the price for it. Now it's Bob here with a haste rune, looking for a target, looking for some action, runs into skill lay, and this is probably a dead Bat Rider, no spells to speak of, and you're just gonna watch that TA slowly bounce away through the twin gates, try and resume farming.
Now
CML.
can't get through the gate. He is going to die.
Oh, that's a nice big melt strike.
Why did he not give the last hit to the sunstrike?
Oh, uh-oh, Zarin. No spear. They immediately TP down and punish. Nicely done, Execration. They don't want to give YG any room on the map. You just came down here. Nowhere for you to go anymore. KSH, uh-oh. Oh, did they spot him? Oh, they think he's run up.
If they scan, they'll know, but...
No, but look at this. There's something up. Does Tino smell it? Oh, Tino smells the last hit on the Boglet.
Yeah, I don't think they know. Unless they scan. The only way they know is they scan.
Yeah. Okay. Well, nice little creative play there from KSH to get out with his life. They Execration were frothing at the mouth for him for sure.
Yeah, you look at Execration, they are trying to take control of the Ancients, right? They have sentries across both sides. They're trying to just make sure that there's no vision and they're farming everything, right? So this is like the really important thing right now in Dota. The Ancients, the 4 Ancients, you need to make sure you're controlling at least 2 of them, you know. And whereas right now, if you're a Yangon fan, you're a bit worried, right? Because you only have access to your own in the triangle, which is the Invoker's farming right now.
Yeah. They are not ancient maxing. It's a little bit unfortunate, but maybe the tide will turn for them once young PH
Is that a
gets...
term? Ancient maxing?
I mean, you can... Winter, I know that it's you know, maybe you're not up to date with the lingo, but you can put maxing behind anything. You could be Malaysia maxing if you were really patriotic.
I don't get it.
What do you like? You like beta fish, right? You're literally fish maxing, Winter. You own a store that sells beta fish.
I will never understand.
That's
the
fine.
Gen Alpha lingo.
Don't I'm not that young. Don't hit me with that shit. Okay, 6k gold lead, again Execration like you mentioned, control of the Ancients, defense of the Ancients, and getting themselves a nice old advantage here. I will say that Yangon have managed to somewhat slow things down a little bit. It felt like just 2 to 3 minutes ago that Bob was everywhere, getting kills wherever he showed up. They've done a good job dodging him so far, and if they can find Palos, that'll be even bigger. Hookshot to get in front of him, Palos gonna turn around, swipe a few times, but Lun able to get the body blocks off, and KSH, that is a huge kill.
That is the start of the comeback for sure. Tia is gonna pull ahead of Sven right now with that pick off. Sven just stayed a little too long. He was trying to, or was he trying to? I think he might be trying to get to the gate to join his team at top. That's how he actually ended up there. That was unfortunate. He's too slow.
Yeah. Had a Blink Dagger too, just one component away from the BKB. So that's the timing that they want, but the TA closing in on that for herself as well. Skill A almost finishing up that Blink Dagger now. So we'll have that opportunity to just jump forward, pull out the target, and there is save somewhat, right? Like there's the Decrep that can come out from CML, there's the Rum buff that can come out from Bob. But really, if you pull them far enough and then the Mars blinks in with an arena separating the fight, it could get very messy quickly for Execration.
Yeah, I mean also the fact that you have the blood spot, right? So it can be difficult for the partner to save.
True.
Vision.
Okay. Things are maybe stabilizing a little bit here for YG. KSH still having a splendid game. But Execration, they are grouped up and ready to take this Tormentor at the 20-minute, or at least try and threaten some sort of a fight or a catch. They back up, smoke up, maybe trying to bait in YG, but it doesn't seem like YG have any interest in contesting them on the map at all.
I mean, they have to make sure that they have at least 2 Ancients. Like you can't just give them up the map. Give up the map if you cannot control 3 Ancients. They have I guess the triangle on the bottom side now, and the one at the corner of the map. And the tormentor is going to be too difficult for them to. They're going to try the sunstrike. Oh, that was close. That was actually close.
That was a bit too close, actually. You see the sunstrike coming in, maybe your heart drops for a moment. If that gets stolen away, you know that the Yangon Galacticos are farming all the other sides of the map. Oh, if they managed to take
How
that,
did he actually know there was no observe? He just
he just gut feeled it. That was kind of crazy.
Yes.
He's a practiced invoker. This is one of his heroes for sure, young PH.
They're gonna get a catcher arena onto Shanks.
Okay.
Sunstrike.
Surviving for now, but another kill into the pocket of KSH.
Yep.
I mean, this TA is starting to get those Deso stacks. BKB complete.
Yeah,
Can't help but feel like this is starting to become a problem, Winter.
Yeah, this is the pickoffs with the Sunstrike that I was talking about. With their lineup, they have to really find for all these pickoffs and kind of use that to regain control of the map. Because in team fight, it might not be that straightforward against the Checker, Snapfire, and partner wards, and even the boat. So they have to be very careful of when do they start the team fight, right? I think the TA is the one that decides, okay, are we ready to take a team fight? And he says yes, because he has already completed the Black King bar. So
I know
this
just
is
KSH is saying like,
so
let's
early.
go.
Holy,
Yeah.
look at his net worth.
He
Dude,
is farmed as hell, dude. Like KSH, it's been a little bit quiet. It's not the flashiest, but this is a terrifying
if
TA.
they kill Bob here, this is gonna be huge. If they actually get Bob here, he's gonna
Bob
show.
on front lines. Immediate lasso, pull in, takes a lot of damage. There's the decrep. BKB comes out, and that is not gonna work out anymore. Bob's angry and he wants to take some revenge. Pulling in Zorain. That might just be a Mars forfeited as Tino looks to chase for more. Trying to find an angle for the fissure, but they've
so
already
lucky.
left. Yeah, that was so...
You do know what actually happened there? So he got hit when he blinked in. He got the lasso, but he got hit by the Tidebringer. So
he was slow, right?
1 second slow, and then he couldn't run to his team.
Yeah.
That was so unlucky.
Just a little bit slow, right? Like,
I don't think he was.
I mean,
even
what
slow.
could
Like,
he even have done?
He just jumped the moment he saw Bob show in the lane to clear their wave.
Yeah.
He was just unlucky. He got hit somehow. He got hit, but how did he jump and he got hit at the same time when he
No,
was
that's what I'm saying,
lassoing
because
the Conqueror.
the auto attack came out before the lasso came out. So either he was a little bit slow or... I mean, that's the only reason, right? The whole Kanka wind up auto attack came out.
I call it unlucky. This is unlucky, man. Bro,
Okay.
You cannot calculate it.
Okay. I mean, whatever it is, fate is not working out so much in YG's favor despite KSH's best efforts. It happened earlier on with the regen rune that Bob didn't end up taking anyway. Just feels like there's so much against you right now. You're trying your best, but it's not exactly cutting it at the moment, and Bob surviving is huge because now he has that Aegis, and I don't know how you're gonna get rid of him now. An AC my god. We talk about how farmed the TA is. Right next to him are the Sven and the Kanka. They're having stellar games as well.
Kind of feels weird that he doesn't have Radiance here. He's just gone like full team fight. Yeah. BKB, AC.
Yeah?
I mean, the AC is nice against the TA, but then I also still feel like eventually the TA is going to become such a huge problem because you don't have good ways of taking away the refraction charges without Radiance.
That's true.
I mean, it's only Mortimer's Kiss that has like dot damage. Nothing
Yeah.
else. I mean, I guess you can count live drain, but it takes so long.
Yeah. The TA has to stand there and let you live drain her for like, what, 4 or 5 seconds?
Yeah.
And then you pop her.
She's going to have a shot at some point. You know, and- oh no, they see the... This is
They
very
know
big.
it's smoke. This is bad. Talos, he needs to get out. He needs to blink, jump
He's
forward
going
onto
in.
young PH. He's going in. He's trying to full commit. Forward Invoker. And they just need one last hit. The lasso denies him. And CML can't get the job done as well. Mortimer's Kisses raining in. Huge Echo Slam. And the Kisses raining in from the skies. Turn the fight around. And Bob now looking for KSH. Still has that BKB.
alive.
TA is still alive, and that might just be a problem for them once Refraction comes up. Where is their damage over time? Mortimer's Kisses not able to pop the BKB at the very last moment, and Bob gets the job done.
Well, Bob is literally the person that does it all this game. He
Yeah.
is the
Oh my
reliable... He is the reliable call that you have, you know, when you carry, he just decides to YOLO. I was so shocked that he blinked in to try and go for the kill on the Invoker and just instantly dies to the TA.
That was tough though. I mean, props to skill day, right? He was there ready with the lasso immediately, just taking the Sven out of the equation, but That's a huge kill onto TA as well. Bob, I mean, you just can't stop. I can't stop singing his praises. He's doing so well this game.
Yeah, indeed he is. He's just not the usual Bob that I am accustomed to seeing.
Usually, maybe at this point, that'd be a throw or maybe something a little bit that...
Well, we won't even get to this point. 5-0.
That's true. Maybe a death or 3 or 4. Maybe a bit of solo focused plays, but he's just everywhere his team needs him to be. And I mean, we talk a lot about Bob, but Tino and Shanks tag teaming up to get that crazy big team fight. The Echo Slam and the Mortimer's Kisses. Very, very nice combination. There's the stun up. Spear right in time. The X-Mark's a bit delayed, forcing the BKB from Zorain though. He just pops it out of safety, but that is one major part of your fight.
Yeah, I mean, it shows you how pressured they are.
Yeah, it's
They were
scary
not
though.
even committing for him, right? But he felt like he was scared. And then he popped his BKB preemptively. I mean, it's the power of the team fight. They were so afraid for the Earthshaker and the Snap, right? They can kill you from so far away.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why these heroes are all just so good right now.
Yeah.
You push lanes, and then you're also really strong in the team fight.
They're just using the partner to slowly blast the tower down, and YG looking to respond in the mid lane. Trying to find a target, grab CML.
That's the D-crab off.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna die. It's just a little bit of time bought, I guess. It's just a matter of whether the rest of Execration want to come in and punish. Here comes the Mortimer's huge
big echo
again, Tino. He just can't stop finding them. Looking for more targets, able to force stuff away though is Loon, and Palos coming in, stuns a few creeps. Very nice. A TP away.
Only one hero died.
Yeah, how did the rest of them just leave? That's crazy. Young PH sliding out of trouble. They have a gem on Bob, so they probably caught glimpses of the Invoker escaping, but...
Gosh, just one hero dying.
Yeah, I actually have no idea. No, okay, because the thing is, Tino, after the Echo, he wasn't really able to combo, right? Because he threw the Fissure out earlier. So he just echoed, and then he pressed his Enchant Totem, and then they just kind of, like, walked away.
That was so unfortunate that they couldn't get more than one Batrider kill. Yeah, that looked like a game-defining Echo Slam.
That's true. And Tino, he had that amazing vacuum earlier on with the Darkseer into the Centaur, right? He's
that was
stranger to
the highlight of the day.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I still don't understand how he managed to pull that one off. Well, it looks like it's a good time for it to be a pause though, because we'll be getting right back into the game shortly. Just some slight issues that will be resolved quickly. There we are. Easy, smooth, seamless. And a little bit of time for us to talk a bit about how it went wrong, at least for YG. What happened? Is it just the Bob effect? Like, I remember at some point, even though the Invoker was just having an awful game, on paper, your side lanes are still going okay. If you find some of these Sunstrike kills, it should be fine. Like, KSH and Zorain, they were doing pretty well. Like, what happened?
I think they actually used what? Did they chase too much after the partner? Because it all started with the partner kill, right? They caught the partner with the lasso. He decried himself, but they still killed him. But then they tried to chase for a +1 kill, right? I think it always happens. The +1 kill, you got greedy. Okay, we have a clean pick off. Then you see another hero. You want to get another kill, but then the enemy has it against, right? And they feel like they can fight you, and then you group up, you die. You know, like all these things. I think just stem down to discipline, right? You need to have someone in the game that is clear-headed, that's really looking at what is actually happening on the big picture side and try to leash your teammates, right? Because you have to stop them from... People just get bloodthirsty sometimes. You get a kill, then you want to just chase. You have to leash them and get them to come back to the base, right? One kill is enough. That's all we're getting. They have A gates. Let's not try to go too far, you know.
So what's the game plan now, though, for YG, now that they're in this spot? What exactly can they do?
I still think that it's the same one. You play the map with your heroes, and you patiently wait for pickoffs with the lasso or the hookshot with your Sunstrike, you know, and even the arena. I think that's what has gotten them so far after the disastrous early game from the Invoker, and they should just stick to that, you know. Just look for the pickoffs on the lanes with the Sunstrike. And now the game has gotten to a point where, I feel like the TA is just going to kill everything that you stun for him, you know. As long as you're stunning the hero, they cannot save with the D-crab. The hero is going to die.
It sounds like it's a matter of YG maybe being the ones to get the initiation. Earlier on when they were able to catch CML, it's just a matter of over-chasing, right? But if they were able to line up the hook shot into the lasso, into maybe an arena in the back line, then as long as KSH can get into position, should be a field day for him to rip these heroes out.
They also have to think of who do we have to kill first, right, in the team fights. You're definitely looking at the Pugna, the Snap. Those are the two heroes you want to remove from the equation, and especially the Earthshaker as well. I think the Earthshaker and Pugna probably have the highest priority in terms of who you need to kill first. The Snapfire, maybe not so much.
Now, CML even going for a BKB just to protect himself against some of these shenanigans, understandably. So it's kind of funny at some point in this game if we see an arena come up and the Pugna presses BKB and just walks out.
What's the plan? He's gonna BKB and decrab himself so he cannot die at all. To magical and physical, and then he just heals his teammate. Is that
he's just unkillable. Like, you can't touch me.
Oh my god! I just want to see this
before the TA gets a
BKB.
nullifier.
I mean, even if he gets a nullifier, it doesn't work. If you have as long as you have BKB and then you declare.
Yeah, I guess so.
Nothing works. So that's the plan, yeah. Well, at least the guy has a plan, you know.
Yeah. I mean, Execration, they've had more than a plan. They've had success so far, continuing to maintain and increase that gold lead, even though KSH still at the top of the net worth. It just feels like Execration have so much control on the map. All YG get are the scraps and opportunities that are sort of dropped by Execration through carelessness, right? And so far, Execration haven't really made many mistakes for YG to capitalize on.
And the game is still going to go on for some time, you know. They are going to be shuffling the waves, trying to go for. And things are definitely still going to happen. Like, all they need to do is keep KSH alive, you know. As long as the TA is alive, he's shuffling the waves, he's pressuring the towers. There's going to be some sort of like chance of getting a pick off. But you're forcing them to speed up somewhat.
Well, they're still all together now, smoked out by YG, looking for someone to come in and defend the tower.
I mean, Bob is a pretty difficult kill with his build. He's so tanky.
Now, Shanks is going to get spotted under the vision of this rocket flare. They're kind of baiting a little bit here. A late smoke as the rocket flare expires, and they have an idea of where Yangon Galacticos are. This could be the fight that defines the game.
They are looking for the Cataclysm with the arena.
Oh, they're on the low ground. Zorin could try and find his opportunity here, but it's Bob on the front line. Zorin on the back, looking for an angle, gets stunned up, pops the BKB finally. They get the Pugna immediately, and the Cataclysm out. Hookshot doesn't connect in time. The Yules, it's a bit awkward now. Lasso still pulling in Palos. They need to try and save their carry. Palos popping the BKB, and is able to walk free. KSH being slowed down to a crawl, and the BKB runs out. He's gonna get blown up by the Echo, pulled back in, and no more refraction, hiding, but not enough. Tino will swipe him down, the savior there for Execration, coming in with a huge Echo Slam, and CML even buying back as the remaining members on YG have to flee. Oh, they came real close to taking down Palos, but they just couldn't finish him off.
Yeah, he did a really good job, like manning up and just going in, you know, and just giving his team the vision to decide, especially the Shaker. You know, the Shaker saw everything. Somebody was in front, so he found a really, really good Echo Slam.
So they're trying to get a catch though. Tino out of mana, no BKB, but you just don't have the damage between Zorin and Young PH. The Sunstrike, gone are the days in the game where it's enough to get these kills. Zorin now gonna get spotted out by the Mortimer's Kisses, gets the blink out in time, very nicely done, but unfortunately, Young PH not quite as lucky. He came for a pick-off, but he's gonna be the one to go down instead. It's a little bit awkward in terms of the chase, but they still get it done. Execration continuing their dominance here in this game number 1.
A very, very clean game. I can't remember even what was the big mistake that I made. I think except for the Sven getting catch in the bottom, I think the bottom gate area where he died when he was trying to connect to his team. I think that was the only moment where maybe that was considered like a
little fumble, right?
Yeah, a more serious mistake. But I think apart from that, everything was pretty on point. They were moving as a unit, really well. Objective, shuffling on the waves. The right hero is shuffling on the waves, and the right hero is walking with the snap and the conca, moving around on the snap and the shaker, going for kills on the map, and playing with their timings on the Sven. And it seems like this conca build it is working wonders for them, you know, because he's just always with the team, right? He's not playing greedy.
I thought for sure that in that earlier sort of situation where both teams were smoked up and YG had the high ground advantage, that they'd be finally able to get a multi-man arena, get the catch, but it has seemed very difficult for Zorain to find a high
because
impact
they ran
arena.
down. Because they ran down, you know. So what happened was they were holding the triangle, the opponent's triangle, and then they decided to walk down. I'm not sure what they saw. Was it something they saw or what? But usually the rule is, there's an unspoken rule, right? When you know the enemy is smoking and you have high ground, you don't leave the high ground. You just wait for them to come to you. You don't go to them.
Yeah. Because as soon as the smoke pops, you get full information, right? Compared to if you're running to them and suddenly they get the same privilege that you do.
I have the high ground.
Oh, Skillet. Oh, not fast enough again. This is... Look, you can call it unlucky, but at this point, he's kind of delaying a little bit with his lassos there. It could have been a kill onto Tino.
I mean, it's a tough game, right? You're not having
It is a
very
tough
good
game.
time, and he knows that a lot of the pressure on the team is on his shoulders. He needs to find the pickoffs. He needs to find the right heroes. There's so many things he needs to do, and he also needs to push waves out, right? So
Yeah, this feels like why have we seen just two bad riders at this point today have the weight of the world on their shoulders on position 4? It just feels so hard.
that
Blink
is
away.
the hero. That is the design of the hero, my friend.
That's why you
Bad
don't like it very
rider
much.
has a lot of responsibilities. I don't like the hero. Not because it's not because of that. I just think the hero is primarily weaker right now in the lane, you know, because a lot of the parts that made the hero strong was the laning phase. Right now, he is a way weaker laner than before.
Sure. I mean, the lane translates into everything else, right? Because in the past, you dominate the lane, get that earlier blink dagger, start running the map, but later pick up in the items, the later dominance means that your cores are a little bit further behind, you're not really able to support as much in rotations, and maybe now, in a similar fashion, you find yourself getting picked off, not really able to connect on these lassos. It's all a big snowball effect. Snowball is what Execration are doing right now. No, they don't seem to be in any rush though. I mean, 2.5 minutes left on the Aegis. They are not particularly pressed about running up to high ground just yet. What do you think they're waiting for?
Doesn't really seem like there's a big item that they're waiting for. I mean, you can wait for the swift blink on this man, but I don't think it's like a really like, it's a nice item, but it's not like a huge game changer item right now. I mean, they already have refresher on Shaker. I mean, that's about as good as it gets for your Shaker.
I mean, I'm looking at the map right now, and it seems like YG, at least up until now, were doing a pretty good job pushing out these waves and forcing heroes back to try and deal with them. But
yeah,
now,
but at the same time, they're not getting pickoffs. If they're not getting pickoffs with their lineup, I think just eventually Execration, they're gonna find their moment to shove the waves in and get ready to push high ground, because their heroes are just better at pushing waves.
still some split push happening in the top lane courtesy of Young PH, but he's gonna have to come back now. Tino will show on the wave though. They saw the fissure come out, so they know he's not there with the team.
Yes,
and immediately, he does have travels, but you immediately see the response there. They're like, we can go now, and they eliminate CML with ease. Okay, well that's a pretty good start. Question is whether Execration still want to stick around. They have planted the banner, still have the Aegis on Bob, and he's starting to smack away at the tower. No lasso anymore. What else do you have to offer? Spear back.
It's a spear back.
Okay, it's quite a bit of damage. Bob dropping very low. Oh, was that a
he
whiffed
whiffed the echo. He got hit by
What?
the rocket.
Oh no. Okay, well Panos is gonna come in and clean up the job anyway, so I guess it doesn't even matter. BKB, he's gonna chase right through. Palos smacking away. He's like, I'm the carry, guys. Don't forget. Ecto Slam. He's not gonna whip that second one. Eliminating KSH. They make it look easy. Looked for a moment there like YG might have had a chance, but even with the Cataclysm coming in, dodged swiftly by the Cookie, and Palos is just cleaning up shop. He is now dropping low. The buybacks are coming in, but I just don't think it's gonna be enough damage to finish them off. Palos will go down, but so with him will the rest of YG, forcing massive buybacks and casualties. There still is a BKB on Bob, but Tino's there to back him up, and you gotta be real careful, Lun and Zorain. I mean, you can spear him, but where really is your damage? BKB, again, he's still holding on to it. Bob being very patient, finally popping it out right now. met with young PH's own BKB, and uh-oh, I thought that Fisher was going to block off Bob, but turns out he's fine. Throws the tidal wave back around. Still BKB is the Invoker, but Zorain trying to find an angle for the spear back again, but Bob manages to make his clean escape. Spear to the high ground. The heal is there! Right in the nick of time. CML respawns and comes back to save King Bob. This is more like the regular gameplay that we've come to expect, but now young PH is the one who has chased way too far. The tornado's only gonna buy him a moment as the last hit goes to CML. Credit where credit is due for saving his core there as the push just continues on. He's still got 26 seconds without the TA. This is gonna be a Rax at the very least.
Can they actually even get more than that? You know, the second
I
lines
don't
of
know
Rax.
about that.
Invokers has a long death time, 90 seconds.
Yeah, but you got the lasso in the arena up and you're still waiting on your Sven. I don't think they're gonna force the issue, right?
Yeah, way too risky. They're gonna respect the fact that Tia is alive, back off, just wait for the Sven to TP to the gate. I mean the outpost, and then plan your move from there.
That was literally 4 buybacks from YG and they
Yeah,
still
but
lost the fight.
It's so concerning, right? And on top of that, the echo was missed the first time.
Yeah, they did it. It's almost like he didn't have refresher. It looks like YG, they're trying to maybe get a sneaky grab on somebody who pops out by
it's
themselves.
It's gonna be tough. They have the high ground here, so if they can get a clean lasso with a 4-staff and separate one target away from the team, maybe they can still win the fight.
Yeah, but look at Execration. They've just snuck all the way around behind the tower. And KSH, he would be such a juicy target just a moment before he shows. He is toast here. Jumping forward, Palos can't cut through the refraction just yet. Still has time to pop the BKB. Absolutely not. The chain stun is perfect, and the crits send him packing. With that death on KSH as well as he could have played, there's no way he could have expected that. There was no one there to break the smoke for him, and they'll use the remainder of this God Strength to clean up another lane of Rax.
That is a very, very clean execution of the enemy carry. And that itself shows you how good of a shape Execration is in right now as a team. You know, the amount of precision and coordination is very, very good.
Yeah, it's like what you're saying, they always assign the right heroes to the right places. They get the spell casting mostly intact, I think, apart from the Sven death that you mentioned and let low with Echo Slam. Like, again, just such clean gameplay. Whatever happened at EWC for them, they must have learned a lot because this is looking like a new shaped team. This is looking solid. One last fight here maybe for the side of YG as they try and go in, commit for the Sven, spear him to the cogs, tornado him. Okay, you're not even gonna land there. Here comes Bob with the Ghost Ship Agonyms doing quite a bit of damage onto Zorain and pushing him back potentially into his own death. Bob, maybe he's overextended a little bit here. Buying the Ghost Scepter, refresh. What a play there from Bob. He's gonna get the second Ghost Scepter in, but it's just gonna amplify the damage. Is he really gonna TP? Are you serious, Bob? He lives! He lives! Insult to injury at the end of this game number 1 here as Execration take it cleanly. Bob doesn't even drop at the end of the day. What a performance from the boat captain going.
Remember the build after BKB Aghanim. So Dagger,
Okay.
Hayasha, BKB Aghanim.
Usually you either win or lose the game by then, right? Like,
I think refresher, okay, it's refresher, yeah. After
okay,
that,
sure, yeah. You know, the other day, an SF went Abyssal Blade.
What, against Enigma or what's it about?
No, just in general. Like, I don't even, there wasn't anything specific to go Abyssal Blade. I think they just wanted to get that control out, which is just boggled my mind.
I've definitely seen it before.
Yeah.
You
It's
Abyssal
just,
and then Requiem.
yeah, it's also just like 7,000 gold. You know what I mean? Which is...
It's better than the Hex because when you Hex them, they can move. So you get Abyssal. And
Yeah.
Abyssal gives you better stats than Hex.
Sure, okay. A lot of logic coming out from Winter Dota right now.
Why
Maybe
are you mocking me? It is legit.
Okay, look, let's focus up here. We have a game number
The
2 on our
moment
hands.
you're using my my Twitter handle, I know you're mocking.
No, that's what you go
I
by.
don't
Winter.
go up to you. Hey, Mike Perma sneeze. You know, I don't do that to you.
Yeah, okay. All right. Let's be kind to one another from here on. No more bullying. There's enough bullying done by Execration for the entire all the games that they played so far.
Bro, I wasn't bullying you.
Okay.
I swear, you know, yesterday I went to a restaurant and they have a sign outside of the restaurant. Be kind or leave.
Whoa. Okay, I get it though, because people can be really, really mean at F&B establishments. I don't know, is this weird thing. Also, you know, there's this common saying that like people, like you judge someone based on how they treat service staff in like public.
Yes, I believe that is true.
I believe that's true as well, because I've noticed a lot of people who just kind of don't really have respect for service staff, like, and it always kind of translates to just somewhat being kind of shitty.
Is it time to be back in the game? Do I have
think so.
permission?
Yeah,
to
no,
return to the
but
game?
look, anytime you want, brother. You know, you're the professional here.
You said that I am.
No. Okay, look. Laning stage. KSH, Ursa. You talk about the disruptor needing to be babysat, right? Is the Ursa good enough? Because I feel like there was always this discussion where heroes like the Ursa, the Slark, they're really good into melee matchups, but this isn't really a melee matchup, right? Tino and Shanks, they're just gonna spam spells on you. It's kind of painful.
Shockwave, Scatter Blast. It's annoying.
Yeah, like literally half HP. What you don't do.
I mean, Ursa with Disruptor is a nice duo. Because Ursa kind of makes it very difficult for you to trade against him with the furry swipes when you get level 3 especially, and then Disruptor brings them back to you. So there's indeed synergy in the lane for that. But right now, they're not running away from the Ursa.
Yeah, I think the sort of misconception that you're having right now is, you know, when you say trade, it implies that you are hitting the Ursa and the Ursa's hitting back. The Ursa ain't hitting back right now. He's just getting slapped around like a little cub.
Not in his lane.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It's a little bit tough.
I think this is the type of lanes where you probably have to take 2 points in your queue, in your Thunder Strike and Disruptor, because the lane is difficult.
Just to like spam them out a little bit and try and push them back.
Yeah, because the second point is very high value. It goes from 25 to 55 per strike. So you only do that in lanes that are going to be really, really tough. If you don't need it for the lane, then obviously you're going to want to max your other spells. This is one point in your Thunder Strike. But I think this is the kind of lane where you probably should get more than 1 point to stabilize the lane. Because they are not running away from you.
Yeah, they're ready to fight.
I mean, especially at level 2, right? They have the cookie and skewer back, so you have to be really, really careful. And sometimes it's really hard to avoid it because you have to take last hit on the Ursa. So you need to go close to the camp, the crit wave, you know, so you're going to get cookie and skewer back. So the best way to combat that is to throw your spells at them and to keep them low.
Well, they are still, unfortunately, for the side of YG, looking extremely healthy on the Execration offlane duo. Looking at mid though, Bob, like you, I guess somewhat expected, they picked this SF to dominate the lane versus the Pango. It's
Yeah,
like,
I told you 10 years ago they were going to pick SF, right? You were
10 years?
me.
Okay.
Yeah, you were mocking me SF. I hate SF, you know. That hero dies to one gang.
You
have to play perfectly to make the hero
my
work.
God.
That's what you said just now.
Okay, well, Bob is playing perfectly, okay? Well, I think we can both agree on that. He's been playing perfectly this entire day. Nice little rotation, skill lane. On the top lane, but you kind of have to run away when they start tri-laning you, and nice rotation there from the Rubik.
Yeah, that was a very, very important move. They're coming to fight the Lotus, but that's going to put his Tide in a very, very bad spot, you know. He's not going to be able to do much in this lane now. I mean, I think this kill has a price, you know. Rotating the Rubik to the top lane to get that kill. I mean, it's okay to get the first, but I think it's still worth it. But there's a price to pay.
Yeah, slice out of the watermelon. It's not going to be as fat and juicy as you would otherwise like it to be. But Zorain, you know, they were running out of offlane options. This is still theoretically a counter to the RP, still theoretically a counter to the Sven.
To a certain extent, I think the Sven did. Because Sven can actually build Silver Edge and deal with you. And sometimes the debuff doesn't really help you know, the strong dispel, because you die like short strength, he gets a crit off you. Sometimes you just die, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you ever cut up a watermelon, you just take a big cleaver, chop it into bits. Very easy situation for the Sven to maneuver.
No, I just like.
You like to just, you know what?
Drink
you know
the
what?
juice, you know. I don't like clobbering up my watermelon.
It would be, you know what, Winter? I feel like you're the type of person who would just bite a watermelon. Like you seem you seem freaky like that. I wouldn't even be surprised. You'd be like, oh, the watermelon rind has so many health benefits, you're missing out or some shit as you bite into the raw skin of a watermelon. I could see that.
don't even know you.
如何呢？又能怎？如何呢？又能怎？
Okay, this is where we're at right now. That's tough. Young PH, he's also having a bit of a tough time. Level 4 to the level almost 6, is it? That I saw of the SF? Yeah, he's almost there. So
I mean, wasn't it worse last game? The
Kanka and the
Conker
Kanka
level
and the-
6, right? When he was
Yeah.
level 4.
I mean, it's getting there. Young PH.
I mean, to be fair, both games are very, very difficult matchups. And the Pango SF is probably as difficult as the Evoker Conker.
Oh, nice little pick off there on the top lane. I mean, they're starting to get off to a bit of a rolling start here with the Disruptor and the Ursa. So that's kind of what you want, right? You quickly get your levels, quickly transition out. Maybe an early rotation to the mid lane to try and bail Young PH out of this tough situation as well.
Yeah, but unfortunately, this mid tower is in a lot of danger. Catapult Wave, Chen has his creeps coming over. They're gonna secure the rune, most likely. And if you look at the support, the Rubik has no regen, no health, no mana, so he has to go back.
Yeah.
So I don't think he'll be here in time to fight for the rune.
Yeah, it's a small thing here, but I really like what Bob did. He didn't push out the wave, just let the creep slowly punch away at that siege creep because it happened to hold the creep wave outside the tower, allowing a bit more time for his own siege creep actually to go to work. Now, they're gonna try and tank up the tower just to do a bit more damage in here. Loon getting stunned up by the Rock Golem. Cookie slightly off the mark though, the Blood Grenade not gonna connect as well. Young PH still not at that level 6. Things are getting a little bit awkward here as the next creep wave crashes into the tower and Bob is using that shield rune to tank just a little bit more. It's a full 3v3 here, but with the catapult wave and CML with the Satyr, it's not really a fair fight.
And this tower is gone. 6 minutes, not even 7 minutes, the tower is down.
Maybe they can get a deny, that would be nice. Okay. This is the second tower Loon has denied this game. I mean, this series, sorry.
You make it sound like it's good news, right?
Okay, well,
I mean,
it's a silver lining. It's a silver
kinda
lining.
good news in the situation. But yeah, Bob is here to get a kill onto the Tidehunter.
Yeah, he's only level 4, jeez. It gets kind of whack around the tree line though.
No,
Zorin.
okay, I don't know about using the Kraken there.
Yeah, maybe he could have escaped. Palo still had like 3-4 seconds on that Stormhammer. I don't think they would have been able to continue chasing. Not sure about that.
Because he was dying to magic, not exactly dying to physical. So that was strange that he decided to do that. But nevertheless, right now, Bob is once again out of control. He is going to be very, very huge this game. So the best way of answering an SF is you have to have heroes that can kill him. Like catch him and kill him, because he's still a pretty killable hero.
Yeah.
They're
Now they're
gonna
looking for a
smoke
kill.
with the Pango, but guess what? He has already left the lane, you know.
Shanks is in a position to try and break some smoke that comes up as well, or at least stack a bit more. Gonna come up here. KSH leading the way. Tino, he's in big trouble if he doesn't get up right now. Could get a glimpse back, pulling him into the hands of the Ursa. Not able to
was
get the
close.
RP off in time. Yeah, that could have turned around really nicely, but there's a haste for Bob. He's gonna run up here, try and get the kill into skill A. Here comes the creeps as well for the chase on. One last little raise is what's needed. Tree branch is not going to block the vision. But Bob, can you really stick around and fight here? You don't have a Requiem. Shanks is coming in as well. They're at least going to try and finish off the support. So trading 2 for 2 on both sides. KSH the big winner of that, but now Young PH. No more mana to work with. Gets a stick charge up, still looking for a swatch or maybe a double jump back out. Shanks not able to finish the job, but KSH now on the chase. CML gets the kill with his creeps with the little boglet. KSH. Now I'm going to try for the chase on. You gotta be careful though. You haven't leveled the Enrage just yet. And just kind of try and bait that out. Mortimer's Kisses, a little bit awkward. Shanks forced to retreat. There is the Enrage, but after that's done, it could be tough. But Bob in a lot of trouble. There's the Tendril getting the stun out. It's not going to be enough to save Bob, but at least KSH gets the kill. And honestly, this Ursa is salvaging the game for his team.
Yeah, that was very, very close to leaving there. I think he lacked a little bit of mana to use Cookie. Like if he had actually that 5, it must have been really, really close because he had mana for the Shredder. I think maybe like 10 mana or something.
Yeah.
If he had Cookie, he cookies the SF. I think the fight would have been SF alive and Ursa still dead.
Yeah. And also, not to mention, they took that entire fight. Firstly, losing Tino immediately off the bat. That was like a 3v4 situation. and they also didn't have the Requiem, which is the SF's most powerful tool, right? So they maneuvered that completely using Chen creeps, snap spells, and a couple of razors. Really impressive stuff, but you know, you kind of got to be careful with Bob because he's not really this tanky, unkillable Kunkka that he was last game. He kind of is a very frail, squishy target that can easily be abused if he's not too careful.
So right now, back to the game. Like the state of the game wise, I think YG has kind of stabilized the game a little bit. Ursa is, like you said, really, really fat. Almost has his battle fury. Like he has 4 kills and 1 death. And that kill on the SF was a huge one. Gave him a huge injection of gold. And everything, I feel like from their point of view, is still pretty good. Again, levels on your supports. Once you get level 6 on Disruptor, you can go for another small little play with the Pangolier. I mean, I think the Tide is the only one that kind of needs to, sit and farm for some time. You know, he's the poorest out of all the 6 cores in the game.
Yeah, this is also after clearing out quite a hefty stack in the hard camp there.
Yeah, I mean, this is the issue about Tide. Like he doesn't really farm quickly, and he needs to have a very good lane to have impact in the game. I mean, right now I think people are experimenting with the hero because he kind of does like to build the helm.
And still need to see how much impact he can have on the map even after having that tougher start.
He has only 1 death, but the fact that he only has 1 death and he's been picked after, you know, that
this was like almost the last pick, right?
Yeah, you know that they have Magnus and Sven, right? So he's kind of picked in a pretty good game, but still you see him like not really having like a free game, you know. I mean, sure, you could also say the Rubik left him, but the Rubik went to get a first blood, which was also important in the game. And heroes need to be flexible. You can't have a hero to fully rely on the support to stay in the lane to bodyguard you for the first 5 minutes. That would mean that the hero needs too much in the game.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean,
that's
Dota is just very fluid right now. A lot of things change. Sometimes you don't expect it, sometimes you expect it, so you need heroes that can play in a very fluid way, right? Every game can be different based on what is happening in the game. I mean, that's why this game is very, very complicated, but nice to watch. It's very ended because things change all the time.
I mean, are things sort of going according to plan, you think, for Execration so far? Because you mentioned that YG, they've managed to stabilize quite a bit. So far, in most of the games that we've watched, Execration, they've kind of put themselves on a little bit of a timer. And of course, intentional. They play these timing drafts, they get off to a good start, and then they hit their timings, end the game. Is that also similar for this draft that they have in this game number 2, or is it sort of more well-rounded and they don't really care about scaling until late game 5v5?
No, I think it's the same with the TA last game. It's around KSH, you know, on the carry. And he's gonna hit his timing, they're gonna want to take objectives around him. The rest of the 4 players are... I think it's a very traditional way of playing Dota, right? 4 protect 1. Yeah. It's a method that doesn't really feel good right now because if you look at the map, right, there are a lot of people in certain areas, they're not utilizing the top part of the map, whereas if you compare that to their opponents' Execration, they are very speed up. Look at what this snap is doing, it's just taking the wave in such an insane position, right? So he forces 2 heroes to keep him. But he's trying to kill the wave. Look at him, he's just trying to kill the wave. He almost cleared the wave except for 1 creep, and then he brought 3 heroes to kill him. Do you feel like it's worth it? You get 500 gold. Sure, it's still important to kill him because you need to stop him from cutting away, but you don't really feel very good, right? Because it's 500 gold, and the snap clears 1 wave is around 250, 300 gold. So he only lost out on 100 gold. Okay, sure, he's gonna lose some gold for dying, right? But overall, you have to bring 3 people. Is that
and also
worth
it's a map
time?
state thing, right? Like gold aside, it's just like the opportunity cost.
The map state is gold. Basically, map needs gold, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. This CML Chen might mean gold for the side of YG, taking out the Aegis for the Ursa the whole time.
This is huge. How did they actually manage to snuck it under their nose?
I mean, they just walked in there, right?
The helm
smoke,
creep, right? The helm creep was tanking. That's how they actually did it so quickly without losing health. Helm of Dawn, man, allows you to do so many things in the game.
Yeah, it does. I honestly, you know, people keep talking about how it's overpowered and all that, but I think it's quite interesting because creeps are definitely one of the most undervalued, I want to say, like facets or aspects of the game that, you know, people always think, oh, you know, I need to micro and it's so hard and I don't want to do all those things, but there's such a great amount of flexibility that you can have, whether, you know, buffing yourself up with more armor or split pushing with the Black Dragon, or there's so many different things you can do. So I really like it a lot.
So you are one of those who don't think that Helm needs a nerf? Are you saying that?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I am saying. You know
Tell
what
me.
I was thinking? I actually had an idea of how I thought Helm could potentially be nerfed, because right now they made it so that you can't like
They just
Midas
need
it,
to-
right? Like it's a hero creep.
They just need to start the cooldown once the creep dies. You can't. The thing doesn't go on cooldown until your creep dies.
Yeah. I mean,
think-
either that's like one option, and then the other option is I think you just don't transmute gold. Like the fact that you get the gold bounty of the creep that you're
Yeah,
dominating
but that's
is
the
like
reason
kinda...
why the item is popular now, because you.
I mean,
can
I thought the reason why the item was popular was a combination of that and the fact that it's now a creep hero. So like, oh, Magnus getting caught out here, nice little catch. But yeah, the Helm of Dom now counts as like a creep hero, so you can't even like Midas or Punch Hook or like Dagon or like all these other things that would insta-kill a creep, like it just doesn't work. I think if you could insta-kill the Helm creep with all the traditional ways of doing so, you'd see a lot more like Mirana, Pudge, all these heroes that can just like get rid of it instantly.
Yeah, I wonder why I still see a lot of
Shanks in the mid lane. Yangon, they're doing a pretty good job so far. All things considered, they're playing off this Aegis, the fact that they know Execration want to dodge them, and that's allowing them to get a lot of nice glimpse pickoffs on the map.
Yeah, the Ursa is forcing them to run away, and Disruptor is bringing them back. That is the main thing that they are playing around right now. And Execration, they need to send the right heroes to push out lanes, and they have to kind of figure that out. They need to do a lot of shadow pushing because they can't show with the Disruptor in play.
Yeah. This is quite an interesting situation because so far today we've only seen Execration in very dominant winning positions. This is the first time I want to say that they have been somewhat overpowered and are in
Challenged.
a back foot. Yeah, challenged. Like YG have risen up, and who would have expected it to be YG to be the ones to bring the heat to them in this game number 2? Not me, that's for sure.
For Protect 1 Dota, yeah, in a way. Kind of old school. It's definitely working wonders for them. I think Execration, they need to kind of chill a little bit, because with the SF Magnus Sven trio, they are actually slow. They're not that quick as their previous games, you know, the calls that they picked together. This one is a little bit slower, so they need to be a little bit more patient. SF is very, very strong in the late game, and he needs to get that. I think once you get the dagger, you also need to farm your... Uh-oh. What?
You know?
What just happened? He missed the RP.
What's... Yeah, that's a little bit of a swing and a miss there. Rolling Thunder gonna catch him on the return. And he is in big trouble. They used the Hand of God to try and save him. That was never going to work. That's way too much damage coming out from the lineup of YG. Nice Requiem windup. But all it really catches is the Pango on the south side. They get the kill of the young
down.
PH, and KSH, he loses his Aegis. Zorain still holding on to that Ravage, looking for an opportunity.
SF
They
in
pull
trouble.
back the SF. In trouble is Bob, and this is the fear. Pulled back into the clutches of the Ursa, swiped down to a crawl. And Palos there, gonna try and get a return. The damage, it's still outstanding from the Sven, and he cuts through the bear. Just as quickly as YG were able to garner themselves an advantage, it looks like they've dove a bit too far. Zorain hiding around the tree line.
Whoops.
Oh,
Okay.
I mean,
think
he's
gonna die.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's
there's,
dead, he's
there's
dead.
no way he lives.
I mean, how did that fight? They barely even got any spells off on
No,
the Magnus.
I'll tell you what happened in that fight.
I'm listening.
Execration has 2 carries, Sven and SF.
That's true.
YG has 1. So when you kill the SF, you lose your own carry, and the enemy still has another carry. So his other carry kills your only carry. So you lose the team fight. In layman terms, okay?
Okay. Relax. You don't need to shit on me like that. But
I'm not
What-
shitting on you. I'm just trying to explain
no.
how.
Okay, so can you explain this? Because
You
on
want me
paper-
to like give you a play-by-play
no,
about
I'm
what
listening.
happened?
Okay, so with the Ravage and the Rolling Thunder, how I feel like when you have those 2 abilities up, it feels like you have so much control that you could probably cut through the second carry as well. How come that didn't work out for them? You know what I mean? Did he just ravage too late, or like?
They use everything on the SF. They ravaged the SF. The Tide ravaged the SF. The Pango used his roll to kill the Magnus in the initial gang, right? Once Magnus with the RP, and then he got glimpsed back, right? That was how the fight started. And
I mean-
they ravaged the SF, and then there's nothing for the Sven just popped up And he killed the Pango first after the roll ended. And then he waited
Yeah.
patiently. He waited in the trees, like HY said. Just stay in the trees.
Yes, yes.
He waited and waited. The Rarish popped. The Ursa commented for the kill on the asset. And then he jumps in and he stuns the Ursa. And he kills the Ursa. And that's it. You know, the rest of your heroes can't really deal with the Sven.
I mean, you just reminded me of the fact that, you know, this Magnus with the RP as well, how different, or maybe how much more in favor do Execration
yeah, I think they
turn
just
the situation
they
when
have
they
to
land
be
the
just,
RP.
they have to be very patient with the fights, right? So what they did wrong on the YG side is after the Magnus kill, they tried to get the SF kill, which was fine, but they needed to use the Ravage for it, so the Sven is able to come in. So they have to try to get that kill without using Ravage.
Now Sven is in a bit of trouble here though. Caught out on the north side of the map, surrounded by 4 enemy heroes and Palos. He's gonna give over a killing spree to Young PH, a much needed injection of gold for this Pangolier, who has finished his blink, finished the diffusal, and working his way towards
Wow,
the
that
eggs
is
now.
a 1,000 gold bounty.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Into the bank for Pangolier, building
Yeah.
into his axe. Is he not buying the shard first? He's actually not buying the shard. The shard actually might be useful this game.
I
Going
guess
for
he's
the
just thinking if he's
Gets it.
entering the fight, he's gonna be rolling thundered anyway, right?
I was gonna
So-
say, thinking he's gonna get it. He's gonna dream of getting it with the 20-minute tormentor.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, YG are in a good position, and Ursa can do the tormentor with ease, right? They're gonna go back for it right now. Do any of the supports have their shard yet? No. Okay, so it's still probably gonna be either the Disruptor or the Rubik. Clear out the creeps, CML. There goes your little army. And just off of that knowledge alone, YG are playing this a lot more hesitant. Zorin on the front lines ready to break a smoke. Up to the high ground, this is an awkward position there. Zorin around the tree line, they don't know he's there. They're gonna ping each other out now. Both teams getting a bit of cold feet in this situation. All the ultimates available for both sides though.
This is gonna be very crucial. Who's gonna get the right hero with the right initiation?
Rolling Thunder
Good
in.
roll.
They saw the SF because of the daytime vision. Hand of God gonna try and save it for now. Cookie out. Can't get through the kinetic fence though. But they bump into the low ground. That's not what they want. The Ursa can't get on top of him. You're trying to finish off the Magnus instead. But Bob, look at him go. He's gonna wind up this Requiem. Pop it out. The Rubik manages to steal it though. That could turn the fight around. Zorin still on top of Bob, but they just don't have the damage for now. Young PH now leapfrogging in, ready to commit, but he just finds his own death at the hands of the Sven. And Zorin will be next to fall. Reduces some of the damage, but it just doesn't end up being enough. Looks like on the top side, Tino was able to catch Skill Lay as well. And it ends up being 4 heroes dead for YG. At that fight, they could have bursted Bob down, but the Pango Rolling Thunder actually bumps him to the low ground.
Yeah, that was really unlucky there. That was actually determined the fight. Also couldn't right click, he couldn't kill the SF. And that was how the
tough.
fight turned out. You know. Very, very unlucky.
I mean, the whole time CML's there with his aura, CML's there buffing the Magnus, who just is taking the full force of the Ursa. Speaking of the Ursa, KSH running over with a haste rune. Just swiping away, that's a freebie. Very nicely done. He's gonna look for more here, knows that the Chen is in the area. Moosefeet buff runs out, but he still has the phase boot. CML doesn't have a TP, so it's a little bit awkward, and even if he did, there's a basher on the Ursa. So KSH, again, similar to the previous game, he is doing just about everything that he can to try and pull this back for YG. The question is whether it's gonna be enough.
And it's too much for one hero to do, too much for one player to do. He's putting in overtime work and he's not getting paid for it.
That's tough. It's tough out here in these streets.
What does the labor law in Singapore say?
I don't know,
Are
but
you-
it
are you
doesn't,
allowed
doesn't
to
even
work overtime.
I mean, it depends on what's in his employment contract. I don't know how generous Yangon Galacticos are. I heard the Myanmar streets aren't friendly though. Nice little glimpse back onto Shanks. Trying to make his way to the low ground. Can't even get a Yules or a cookie off. KSH starting to tear up the ranks of Execration. And this beautiful formula that they've been working with this... Oh, okay, we'll pretend we didn't see that. Beautiful formula that Execration have been working with this entire time, starting to come apart at the seams here. But this is the true test of a team, right? How do they sort of come back from this situation with such a rampaging Ursa right in front of them?
Late game. I think I
You think so?
briefly mentioned a bit. I feel like they just need to be a little bit slower, play a bit slower, focus on getting into the late game. Because they have a
Okay.
SF, right? SF tends to be a lot more greedier. You want to get to the stage where you have your BKB, Aghanims, and Refresher, and maybe a Hex or Abyssal after that. I think you have to get there, you know, it's going to take some time. So they are not able to play their usual run at you once they have 1 or 2 items on their course. Yeah. I mean, they can still do it, but they need to be more methodical, like more calculated, right? You can't just keep fighting because SF, he's like he can one-shot one hero, but then after that you have to chill it, you know? So you have to play slow.
Still 7k gold lead despite the Ursa doing so well for himself here. Very similar scenes to the previous game.
Oh,
where
he's so
it
close to BKB. He wants to finish it before the fight. Oh, it's coming in the career. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Can they actually
Right in
catch
time.
him before he has it?
I mean, Zorian's in a real bad spot. Nice little combo toy. Silence up immediately. Use the Ravage as well to try and eliminate the Magnus. So they stop the Chen from casting any spells to save him. Lim's back, pulling
Big
Palos back up
boys
to the high
are still
ground.
alive. The SF and Sven.
There's the stun out. Oh, he barely gets the chance to pop the BKB. Still surviving, but the damage, it's coming through hot and heavy, and he doesn't stand a chance. That was just unfortunate. The Sven gets the jump on him instead, and KSH, as strong as he is, if he can't get that enrage off, it means nothing.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying, like, with the over chasing. Like, they get the first kill, which is nice on the Magnus, but they have to like come back and regroup, right? They can't really just keep chasing. I think all the fights are lost in that moment when they over chase.
Oh, Zorin trying to come in for the
Roche,
sort of
the
a
Roche.
steal. The Roche, it's dropping too low. It's gonna
He has
throw
a
them
slot.
away. They need to get the last hit. They need to try and
Oh,
find a way
no.
to finish him off the bump away. Are you serious, Roche? 180 HP. They need to make a beeline for him. Zorin, they're holding their panels. Are you serious? They killed
Sven is
Palos.
dead.
The Sven is dead, and the Glimpse back. I mean, the Roche is like 0 HP. Tino's trying to finish it off desperately, but the Magnus only has so much damage he can offer. Bob makes it into the pit, and Bob gets himself the Aegis.
He
Holy.
has no slot. Oh, he's clearing a slot. Oh no.
He gets lifted. Oh. Okay.
He didn't
Bob
blink
look-
out. He didn't blink out. Oh,
I mean, maybe he can blink out now. He has to. I don't. Oh, he makes it.
My God.
The lift, the chase is there. They glimpse him back in. It's not a silence anymore though. Bob, he's gonna try and fight his way out of this one. Hope for a bump out, but he's not gonna be that lucky a second time around. In comes KSH to finish the job, and this was supposed to be a clean cut for Execration. They end up losing both their carries, even though they get the Roche.
That was the first mistake Bob made today. He didn't blink out there. After he picked up, he was thinking about taking up the banner as well, which he didn't have a slot for. And he dropped his wind lace in the end to pick it up, but then it was too late, right? Then he didn't dagger again after he dropped his wind lace.
Yeah, maybe
Oh,
a
boy.
little bit of a moment of panic there, seeing the Roche start to rumble and maybe seeing their chance at a clean 2-0 slip before their eyes. It's feeling a lot more difficult than ever. This game, it was supposed to be simple, right? You talked about, oh, Magnus Chen, Magnus Sven, like this is gonna be clear cut. They get the teamfight RP combo and they burst people down. It's getting a lot harder now that YG are getting these items.
And the Ursa is definitely like a huge problem right now. They can't really like ignore him, but they have to kind of also try to burst him before he pops
又能
enrage.
整，
And at the same time, this glimpses, you know, have been catching the Magnus so many times. Now Magnus has a BKB, so it's going to start to, I think, change. The dynamic of the fights are going to definitely be easier for Execration now. Because we haven't really seen like a meaningful RP, I want to say like, what, the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
Yeah, I'd even argue to say I don't think we've seen a meaningful RP most of this game. There have been 1 or 2 decent ones, but nothing that really turned the tides of the fight.
I remember the
way you
missed
hope.
one.
Yeah, I remember the missed one too. Okay, but I will say that as much as you're talking about the BKB coming out from the Magnus, this Disruptor is getting very close to his Aghanims as well. He's been part of so many pickoffs across the map, and we're talking about how Execration supports, they've had nothing but good devs. I feel like there's been a lot of times this game that there's a few bad devs, right? You're trying to split push the wave, but it just doesn't really work the same when there's a Disruptor.
And you have to be more careful. I think that's
You do.
pretty much it, you know. The way that sometimes the Magnus got caught, he was a bit, I think, careless. So he has to just respect the Disruptor and use your helm creep and just use the helm to push out the waves. You know, you don't show your hero on the lane because he has only 1 point in the shockwave, right? So he has to right click the creeps, you know, if he wants to push out the wave. So sometimes I don't really like it, you know. I prefer like the shockwave plus skewer max, and then you just push out waves with your nukes.
Yeah, I tend to sort of think that build is pretty solid too, but I guess the max and power.
I mean, you farm faster
works.
for sure, but
Yeah,
it's the way you're pushing the wave. It's not so ideal.
yeah. I mean, maybe with another lineup it would be more feasible, but like with an Ursa that can pop out of nowhere, Rolling Thunder, instant lift, like all these instant disables that can catch you before you can react. It's not the easiest situation to play around. Again, still in a game state where it's a 3k gold lead, but I feel like it's been maintained at that for the most part. There have been times that Execration have managed to extend it by a little bit, but goes back to what we were saying. This feels like the first game that they're really being challenged and met where they are in terms of power level. Maybe it has to do a little bit with the draft. This particular draft with the SF last pick, I mean, I kind of get why it makes sense. You've explained it to me at length, but I just feel like comparatively to the other performance Bob has had, where he feels like this immovable object, he very much can be moved, and he has been moved quite a bit this game.
Yeah, only one real mistake I think overall by Bob in this game. It's still close to perfect game. I still think they're in a pretty good spot towards the late game, you know, once you get this timing with the Axe, BKB Axe dagger. You're gonna be very, very strong in a team fight. And after that, the refresher, I think these two items are what defines the hero in the late game team fights. So you just can't team fight the hero. It's just way too strong, you know. And you have to figure out how you can actually burst him right in the team fights. But at the same time, you have to worry about the Chen heal, the Magnus, the RP, you know. So it's not going to be an easy feat, you know. That's the benefit of having the Execration lineup. It's slower, but when you get to this stage, it's sort of like you have an insurance, right? You have two carries, and you have heroes that can protect them very well in the team fights.
Sure. I will see just how far that protection scheme goes as YG, they're on the hunt now.
Yeah, they need to go before the SF reaches critical mass.
CML on the high ground again, he breaks the smoke. Might just be the sacrifice here. Depends on if Execration want to fight. Turn on the back line. Kill off Young PH. Instantly destroyed. RP onto an enraged BKB Ursa. KSH, he's going to be able to stand and survive that one. Palos able to pop the BKB before the Static Storm started going. I don't think the Aghanim's was done quite yet for Loon, and the blink away. KSH back out to safety. There's a cookie forward. Palos looking for a target, but he's starting to get kited around a little bit. KSH wants to get the claws out, but can you really afford to? Bob trying to wind up the Requiem. He doesn't even have it. He used it a bit earlier and nothing to control KSH. Still running away right now. SF doesn't really have the best right-click damage, so he's not able to threaten the Ursa as he blinks out of trouble. Shanks looking to get chased down now. Zorain with that freshly picked up Aghanims with the Gush slows him to a crawl, and they understand they don't have enough gas in the tank to take down that tanky Tide Hunter without the Sven. They'll just have to TP out.
Yeah, that is a well-executed fight. They were able to kite the SF and Sven around. Initially, I think they lost the Pango without doing anything. He didn't use even a spell, but they still kited the BKB once the Sven didn't have BKB. They forced it with the Disruptor, Static Storm, but somehow Palos still felt like he was strong. I think that was like his downfall in that team fight. He blinked in after his BKB wore out, and then he just got kited, I think, by Gush and some other slows, you know, from the Disruptor or the Ursa or Shock, and then he just couldn't move and he just died, you know. SF without the Requiem just isn't the same hero.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but it kind of feels like as much as Execration has these two carry heroes, a lot of it is ulti dependent, right? And particularly for Sven, BKB dependent. It feels like he needs to have that BKB ready in order to slay some of these YG heroes. But if YG, even in these late game team fights, are able to kite out the SF's Requiems and are able to kite out the Sven's BKBs, do Execration just like run out of damage? Because the rest of your cast is like Snapfire, Magnus, Chen. Like these heroes are great at setting up for the two carries, but apart from that, they don't really give you much.
I mean, they're just not landing good enough RPs. I think that's probably the main reason here. Yeah. And they also have to get to the point where they have refresher. And once you have two, it makes things a lot easier. You can kill one. You can kill the Pango one time. You can kill the Ursa one time, or even kill the Pango plus the Tide. Tide probably is a difficult one. I think Pango and Ursa probably. I mean, you have to take the fight slowly. Kite them out, and SF comes in to finish them off. I have no issues with the Sven tanking the initial blow. Like he can go in first, jump in, kill someone and then tank some damage, and then maybe even the process die and you force out some BKBs or some ultis, and then the SF can come in to clean up. I think that is fine as well. That's the thing about having two carries where you can sacrifice one of them. But unfortunately for YG, they have to protect the Ursa at all costs. They need to keep him alive. He's the main source of damage.
This could be pretty huge though. This is not an Aghanims that we talk a lot about, but the Chen has finished his Hand of God upgrade.
Oh, that is actually really big. Like 6 seconds of debuff immunity, if you can.
Yeah, that's kind of a big deal, because if you start channeling that before the Ravage comes out, before the Rolling Thunder comes in, they actually don't do anything. It kind of like alleviates the BKB cooldown thing that we were talking about, right?
Stand like either stand far away, or he needs to get like a BKB of his own so that he can BKB and channel it.
Yeah, because then the only thing that stops it is maybe this Bastion from KSH, but then you're full committing the Ursa to trying to kill the Chen, which might not necessarily be.
RP,
that's a free RP.
So you might want to rethink that plan, if you're the Ursa.
Yeah, no, for sure. Aeon is complete on the Pango now, so he's not going to get instantly burst down. He'll be able to at least maybe get off the roll-up or the Rolling Thunder. Looks like the Chen, unfortunately, is the one to get caught again. Found out on the low ground. Yeah, just to go Ghost though. It's going to buy him a little bit of time, but the rest of the team not interested in helping him out at all. They're busy split pushing the map, splitting up and farming as they have been this whole game. This game has really gotten quite messy. It's nowhere near as straightforward as the draft might suggest.
The SF is going to hit critical mass very soon. Halfway to his refresher. Level 25 is also pretty big, when you get the cast speed on the Feast of Soul. So it's very hard to like stop him, he can just be... He doesn't even need setup at that point. He's just gonna BKB.
He just does it himself, right? Like he just gets in there, bam!
Blink in, and then if he catches you before you use your BKB, you are full control for the whole fight at the Ursa.
You know what's kind of funny, Winter? I look back to the first series that Yangon Galacticos played today, as I might have to hold that thought because Palo's gonna run into KSH. This is not a carry duel that you can win. This is why they picked the Ursa. It's a great matchup into Palos, and even with the debuff immunity, I don't think he's getting out of this one. A huge pick-off for the Ursa to find there, contesting on the Shrine of Wisdom, and even getting that nice bit of EXP for himself.
Yeah, that is a big pick-off there for YG. Might be able to get more, they're gonna get another pick up here, force the Magnus to lose. Oh, it's an Axe!
It's an Axe! He can't BKB right now. He might be able to throw it out at this point, has to do so to prevent the glimpse from coming through. Just lacking a bit of the damage to finish the job, but the Roche is gonna come back up in 30 seconds and it'll be YG's for the taking. But back to the point I was making, Winter, in the earlier series, it was a very similar story. They lost game 1 to Ivory under 30 minutes, and then the subsequent games were 50 minutes, 40 minutes, but it was YG who came out on top in these late game scenarios. Maybe they're just a better team in these late game situations.
Yeah, maybe you're right. They know how to play with like the 4 protect 1 style, finding pickoffs with the heroes, like have very, very good team fight. Play around the carry KSH.
KSH, he's gonna get another nice Aegis for himself here. Further insurance, he gets the burst.
There's a refresher for the fight. So it's gonna be tough right now for Execration. They have to try to be a little bit more patient. I think they are a bit too antsy. They are like out on the map too aggressively. I think they just need to shadow push the creep wave and let the Slam take the safe farm. Get to the point where you get... I think you need Refresher plus Hex on the SF. Or Refresher plus Abyssal. I think either one. Hex or Abyssal.
Yeah, it kind of feels like the list of items that the SF needs keeps growing, right? He's just got his way to the Aghanim Scepter.
But once you get there... I mean, this is basically the hero. Like, all you need to play about is your item timings. You need to hit critical mass, the Refresher, Aghanim's Dagger. And once you get there, you have a couple of options to close out the slots. But I think basically you need to get there first, to consider the other items. And you have to accept for the fact that you're going to play this sort of game, right? It's not going to be like, oh, I'm going to steamroll you like their Kanka game, right? Every single item you get, you're going to be pushing your advantage, SF is a lot more slower pace.
Let's see whether YG give them that room to breathe. For now, still managed to hold on to their tier 3s. A lot of push coming in from Shanks as per usual. Off on the bottom side of the map. Probably just going to be the remaining tier 2s at the very least, cleaned up, I imagine. Abyssal Blade complete now for the Ursa, so whoever he hops on is just going to get instantly eliminated. Scythe Recipe, the courier dying is probably the bigger story there because Bob actually has enough gold for that Hex to manage to bring his courier alive on the trip.
I mean, they do have some ways of dealing with the Ursa right now. There's an E-blade on the snap. There's no nullifier, right, on anyone, so they can't remove the ghost.
The Sven has gone all the way down to the bot lane, I guess just to make his way to the secret shop and get that Reaver. Still doesn't have enough that like gold for the Satanic just yet. They're just looking at KSH beat their buildings up. Gonna look for an angle. Couldn't stop the Magnus in time because of that preemptive BKB. KSH heals up. Deny that enrage duration. Try for the RP, but the Static Storm is perfect. He didn't get it off. Again, Tino struggling to make the magic happen for the Execration lineup when they need him the most. But the Abyssal cancelling the SF ultimate. Bob's gonna try and wind it up, but now he's lifted, now he's controlled, and he's ethereal. He's not gonna get hit by KSH for now. Now finally winding up the ultimate, will get it off and heal to full, just half HP. The pullback, the buyback, Tino is there, and maybe now he can get the RP onto 2. The Ursa control the West, the follow-up damage. They've stunned him for now, but he's gonna very easily be able to Earthshot down to the low ground and Rage. He is debuff immune, and he's gonna slice down Shanks. Bob now in a little bit of trouble. The buyback is coming out en masse. Execration, they know they have to hang on, but Parallel's able to get a huge crit onto the remaining members, but KSH still survives. It is a costly one, but Execration still managed to hold.
They got a couple of very, very big kills, but the next time they die, they're gonna pay a huge price, right? With the double buybacks on the Snap and the Magnus. I mean, Magnus is pretty much, he's gonna have no game at this point. You know, he's not gonna be able to finish one more item in the next fight. I mean, the Satanic, I'm not sure how much it's gonna help though. Like I think Sven.
Yeah, that's not really your problem, right? It's not that you can't
Ursa,
sustain.
You probably have to consider some other build, you know, like evasion. Maybe evasion, butterfly. I think in this kind of matchup, it might be better. Because the Ursa is just shredding him too fast.
Yeah, it's not even a matter of. I think this fight, it's not the fact that they don't have enough damage, right? It's more of, can they get on top of these heroes? Can they put the Ursa out of position? Can they disable him in the right spot for the Sven to go to town?
You
so far,
kite his BKB with the Euros and everything. It's going to be a long fight, and they have to plan for a long fight. And Butterfly, I think it's quite actually a decent option, right? If you have to send someone in front, like the Sven needs to, I think he needs to make the initial jump, tank some spells, and tank the Ursa, and make sure he doesn't die and he can come up. And that's how they can probably get a decent RP, you know?
Yeah. On the bright side, as much as the Magnus doesn't have a game, we are getting closer and closer to the SF critical mass that you were mentioning, right? He's finished up the Hex, he's looking at his next item now, looks to be the Refresher, still quite a ways away, but he is getting there. That's the point, right? And somehow, despite that fight, YG ended up losing a bit more of the net worth lead over to Execration. It's now up to 10k. Sure, at this point in the game, that exact number isn't consequential.
It's the buybacks. The buybacks are the ones that are gonna be more important.
Yeah. They need to be very careful for the next 5 to 10 minutes of the game. But that's 5 to 10 minutes of the game that you don't have the Roche yet. So KSH, he's gonna feel a bit more hesitant about committing early into these fights. Any major other items to look at? The Pango, he's looking at a Nullifier after his Octarine. We already saw the Aghanims from the Disruptor, looking at an Aether Lens for himself. Same thing completed for the Rubik. Rubik actually opting for a Refresher Orb. I wonder what he's trying to steal and refresh.
RP, SF Requiem. But either way, it's going to be late, and now the SF wants to initiate. He's looking for a target with the Hex here. He wants to instantly blow up. Ursa is always going to be the important hero here.
I thought KSH was going to show on the low ground, but he just jumps out right in the nick of time.
If they can hex him, he's going to die from 100 to 0.
They need to get the catch onto him for now. He's not showing. See Young PH in the top lane already TP's out. He's not showing on that ward that they have closer to the base, so they're just assuming maybe he's gone on to farm in the safer region of the map. Palos showing here now. I mean, I'm sure the jig is up, right? They know exactly where Execration are.
It's going to be a game of cat and mouse, you know, trying to catch each other and dodging until they wait for the Roche together. Because I don't think either side are very comfortable just running up to the enemy right now. Like you have to look at the roach spawning, where is it going to spawn, and how many smokes are remaining, right? Those are the important questions to ask. They have one on the Rubik for YG. For Execration, they actually have also one on Snap, right? So actually two. One on Snap and one on Magnus. So this is something that could determine the later fights, right? Who gets the jump, who is able to find the right hero in the initiation.
Yeah. I mean, apart from that, it's also what kind of wards you can sneak past your opponent. For now, if we take a look at the vision on the map, there is one Execration ward right outside of the top side of Yangon's base. But other than that, the map is dark for them. They have no idea about YG's movements. I mean, you can assume that they're at the bottom side of the map, probably in their triangle. That's kind of where the pings are coming through because no one's defending this tower, but I mean, both teams somewhat operating blind, right? There's a limited amount of vision for YG as well, so they've just committed. They're like, okay,
they are so scared.
We have a feeling.
Look at where they're standing. They're standing on the high
trying
ground.
to hold that high ground because they assume that Execration, surely they must be on the prowl, but Execration are just as scared as them. Execration are hiding in their base. They're both just kind of biting their nails. Oh my goodness, where is the enemy team? But nothing's happening.
Yeah, you don't have vision. You can't afford to make a mistake at this stage of the game. Nobody wants to get caught. You see this type of Mexican standoff, you know, they're just waiting for each other.
I will say that with, I think you're right though, with the Hex now on the SF, it's going to be a lot easier for him because in that previous high ground defense, he was trying to wind up that ultimate for what felt like 5 straight seconds.
But he also
and
wasn't 25 right back then, so he didn't have the cast speed with the feet.
Sure, yeah. And now with the Hex, now with the cast speed, he's going to be able to instantly blow these people up.
Refresher is done. We are going to see some fireworks from the SF.
Okay.
I don't want to jinx it. Hopefully we see it. I mean, the key thing is he cannot be the first one gone on. I think the Magnus or even the Sven, you know, those are heroes that you don't, I mean, maybe not the Magnus. I think the Sven getting gone on is not the worst, you know. So he has to understand that.
Yeah. Refresher endemically complete now for the Magnus. He also has the Dazun Blood, right? So that's going to increase the AoE. This could be the fight that they're looking for up onto the high ground now. Young PH hiding right behind the tree line. Seems to be a ping coming out. Not sure whether they spotted him there. A little skeleton boy fighting against Sorain's Creed.
They definitely don't want to fight here because there's a ward and they can't hit the ward right now with the smoke. They don't want to reveal their position. So they're going to, I think, back off wisely. Go back to a spot where they can place their own vision.
Yeah, Zorain's Creep is just going to scout most of them out too. Let's say they'll just walk past like 3 members of Execration. So look at this line drawn by YG. They're going to go for a big wraparound onto the high ground. You have only a Watcher there, but Tino preemptively summoning the creeps to scout as well. They're just using their little Pokemon against each other.
Oh, this is going to be huge. They have the high ground on YG side. This could play a big role.
Do they spot them? Blink out. God blinks into nothing right now. KSH popping the BKB. That's not going to work out for you. Getting the Abyssal Stun, Cookie away. That's your first BKB used. Kill off the creep.
Oh, he can't hex it.
In
Lost vision.
What's going on? They lost vision. Looking for KSH, but they just can't find the connection. He blinks out for free. A swing and a miss there on 2 counts. Execration, they need to make this third one stick, but YG are not going to give them that option. Immediate evacuation there. Oh, that's not what you wanted. That must have just been...
It works.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, well, I know, you know, most of the time you don't buy a BKB on the Chen, so you're not really sure whether it actually, you know, does its job on the hero. You just gotta test it out sometimes. It's like taking a car for a test run, you know, in the shop.
Before you buy it, you do the test run before you buy it. Right now, he already bought it and then he did the test run.
He's... Oh, that's just post buying the car. He can do whatever he wants with it. It's his property, you know. If he wants to pop it off cooldown, more power to him.
It's not very smart, right, to test it after you buy it.
He wasn't sure whether it works first. Maybe should have gone into demo mode or something, but probably just a little bit of a mess up on the hotkeys, you know, CML at there, maybe just wanted to ward or something like that. Okay, SH. Looking for the Snapfire. Quick jump away though.
Yeah, he's been actually getting away with so much of this shadow pushing. I think he's mainly the reason why it was so hard for YG to actually push the lanes out, and when they have an advantage, they are not really exactly having the easiest time pushing the wave towards the enemy side to take objectives, you know. And I think all this has something to do with the snap, just shadow clearing the waves, you know. You don't see him, but he's just using Cookie and the Scatter Blast to clear out the waves.
Yeah. I think it's reached a point in the game, maybe a bit earlier, 20 minutes ago. It was so much easier for the disruptor to just be split off on the map by himself, have a +1, and then you get that kill.
Yeah,
But you're at the point in the game where you
can't even glimpse him because you don't see him.
Yeah, and not just that, but now you need to stick together in this ball because at any moment you could get jumped on and blown up, and you need that static storm to put a stop to it, hopefully to dissuade the rest of Execration from coming through.
He has an important job. He needs to get the storm on the SF before he BKBs and kill him.
Yeah.
I think that is the biggest target he has.
Yeah, I don't know how likely that's going to be, but we'll see whether...
He has a dagger though, I think there's a chance.
Yeah, but he needs to see him first, you know what I'm saying?
If you can actually see him with the roll, like the roll starts the fight and gives you a vision. And they need a Shiva. They have Shiva already on Tide. So the Shiva will give you vision and then you can see him, you know. So I think the Tide has to go in first with the Shiva, and then the roll probably comes next, and the Disruptor should find his target.
Line being drawn, again, taking a similar route through the triangle. The scan immediately connects though.
They want to delay for the Roche to move bot, I think, if you're Execration. You want it to go bot.
Yeah, but they're already on this high ground. Surely you gotta be a bit more careful. Scouting with the creep now. I'm not sure whether they are aware that they're already on this high ground.
Oh,
Have they have an idea of the
That's the
Shivas?
area.
To give the vision, Palos is in trouble! Palos is just dead! That's your stand without buyback. You're gonna RP to try and salvage the situation, but there's stolen RP holding the SF in place, and he can't get the Requiem off. He's just being controlled, and SF cannot cast a single spell. CML has to BKB blink away on the Chen, but now that that's over, you're just gonna get pulled back into the clutches of YG, nullified out with nowhere to run, and that's 4 heroes out without buyback.
That is the play of the game right there. The Shiva's giving the vision and the see his family dies from 2 to 0.
I just feel like they saw this happen before Execration.
Yeah, they are not standing at the right place, you know.
Yeah, why are they
were
on the low ground?
They were on the low ground again, you know. Not sure what was the rationale behind it.
I really don't understand, but the
Roshan
Roche is
is
gonna start
running
moving
away.
now. I mean, there's nothing really that the Snapfire can do by himself, so it's just gonna delay things. A little bit annoying, but nothing that really dampens the state of this game right now. Back down to a 2k gold lead. And this beautiful Execration dream of a 4-0 day crumbling in front of their eyes here as this game reaches 15 minutes. Seems to be the YG specialty once things go late. Put all the eggs in the KSH basket and he absolutely delivers. I mean, do you even remember when this Tide was like level 2 struggling bottom net worth core? I don't. He's looking really strong right now.
I don't even remember. That was 40 minutes ago. I think right now the plan for Execration is, you know, to figure out how they're going to proceed to take the next team fight. I think they're really good at like shadow pushing the wave with the Chain Creeps and the Snapfire, but then when it comes to the team fight, they're not really getting the RPs, you know, or like doing the right things, you know, holding the right position with the wall, or winning them the fights, you know. Whereas on the other side, YG, they're really good with their smoke usages. They understand where they need to go. The game was just hard because they started the game with a deficit, you know, the SF and Sven, they were both so fat from the initial stages. But they did a good job coming back into the game, and the way they're playing the map is definitely something that even Execration should learn from.
Ez has gotten to a very, very uncomfortable spot. For the first time this game, YG are going to be taking the gold lead. Sure, it's small, but they've come a long way to get to this point. They've come a long way in their journey as a team to get to this point, always being gate-kept out of these qualifiers, and maybe, just maybe, while things are still fresh for all these other rosters, the age-old tried and true Burmese stack can come out on top, but it's not over just yet. There's still a chance that Execration can come back. They just need to try and find a way to nail this initiation.
Yeah, the Magnus has to somehow find a decent RP, you know, for once. He has been struggling the whole game.
Yeah.
A lot of doubts, you know, when he was trying to initiate. Like, he doesn't trust himself, or he's just afraid, or too afraid of something, you know.
I mean, they did pick the Rubik to, you know, counter him. You can see there's so much thought before he even dares to jump in. He's like
not his job.
BKBing.
It's not his job to kill the Rubik. It's probably either the SF or the Sven to kill the Rubik. He needs to just get a skewer off, you know, like try to start a fight, skewer them in, and slowly take the fight from there. I don't think you're gonna get like a good RP from the get-go. I don't think you can expect the enemy to give you like a good RP. You need to start the fight with skewer, and it gives your team like a lot more leeway to jump in, right? Especially for the SF and the Sven, because the Tide has a Shiva, so they have, I think, a easier way to execute the team fights. You just need to blink in a Shiva and then they see everything. But Execration does not have a Shiva, so they can only rely on the blink and skewer or the blink contours and try to start the fight. That way, you need to be bold. Use your BKB just for the skewer and the horn toss.
Yeah.
And then you see how the fight.
I mean,
goes.
he's been trying to do that so far, slightly unsuccessfully. YG fully scaled up at this point. KSH at your front door, Lincoln Sphere to prevent any of those initial single target stuns, or maybe even the Sven Stormhammer. Tino pops that BKB and gets nothing. Young PH, just an
Did he not
easy blink
blink?
away.
He didn't. Okay, he got the blink, but he just couldn't get the connection early enough.
It's a very inconvenient ward
I mean,
there.
he has no BKB now. Like, how is he gonna do this now?
Yeah, I actually have no idea.
Oh, RP?
Oh,
That's not his RP.
RP, that's
Okay,
not
GG.
even the RP. Well,
Welcome
that's
to
gonna
game
be
three.
it. Welcome to game. Yeah, YG, they definitely deserve to be moving here because they played phenomenally. Sven's gonna buy back, start slicing up Young PH. The skewer back, no skill lay. Finally an RP gifted to them. That was Tino being brought back into the fray. Maybe it's not over just yet. Maybe there's a chance. KSH with the Enrage still has that second life and Zorain to back him up. 3 members of Execration are all that remain, and YG, they choose to bail out of this situation. They don't want to risk it.
Wow, it's 3v3. No RPs and they're bailing out. I mean, the Sven has no god strength in the bit.
Maybe they're just waiting that out.
And there should be nothing to be afraid of right now. Sven no GS. Magnus has no RP.
That's crazy. I can't believe we were waiting for a good RP the whole game, and it's Skill Lay of all people who delivers 3 heroes on a platter right into a beautiful Ravage to boot. No nullifier between them.
Yeah.
Ghost Scepter means
Go away
immunity
from the
for Tino.
fountain. Don't fight at the fountain.
No, stop messing around with that, guys. That's not where you want to be. He's just waiting for an opportunity to pull you back in. Just take those towers. Last lane of Rex there. You can get that Mega. KSH turning around with the damage. A lot of good armor and auras coming out from the Chen in the nearby vicinity though, making it a difficult kill for KSH to finish off. Do you really want to stick around 20 seconds until the SF is up? I guess you still have Lincolns and Aegis for 26, so you want to put it to use, but it's gonna get a bit hairy. SF now has buyback, but you don't really want to buyback at this stage of the game. Popping the Enrage immediately, KSH gonna be able to walk away again. There's a stun holding him in place. Pop that God Strength, still has the Thunder. Okay, I mean they silence him.
Aegis,
Buyback
5
on the
seconds.
snap. Hellos,
You have to wait out
Aegis
the
in 5
Aegis.
seconds. They need to wait it out, but they didn't time it. Bob is gonna get a huge Requiem on the backline, killing off the Disruptor, and he's gonna try and wind it up again. Teleporting away is KSH, and he will be able to escape.
That was actually close. Probably, I think they probably lost track of time. It was like 5 seconds. The Aegis was gonna end. They should have just waited to kill him.
Yeah, but they really wanted to stop the Mega Creeps from happening, and even though they don't get KSH, they are successful in doing so. We were so sure that the game had ended at that point, but somehow, some way, Execration still continue to hold on. And I mean, this is the first time it feels like that they've been able to land these initiations. The SF has that vision because the entirety of YG is in his base. Execration, they need to try and find a way to repeat that process. Start a fight where they are the ones with the vision advantage.
I mean, if they can actually bait them to come out of their base, I think the Roshan would probably be a good spot to start. But if the Roshan spawns, I imagine Execration has to come out and fight. So that would actually force them to be on the low ground instead of the high ground. High ground against Magnus is so difficult.
Yeah.
Let's see, he gets a horn toss off and you have to go in. Okay, that is one
That
way
is
of giving vision.
Yeah, Mortimer's Kisses, Rolling Thunder in, immediate RP though, but they can't skewer him back. They steal away the
He's
RP
dead.
again. Skew Lay, he got him, and somehow Young PH survives. The buyback on the Disruptor, that's enough for them to retreat. But again, you have to keep in mind, they don't get anything from that other than the buyback of Disruptor, but the stolen reverse polarity. Skill Lay has already made a game-winning play with that spell. He might just do it again here.
In the Pango with the Ghost Scepter saving his life there. The Sven was actually gonna kill him through the roll.
Yeah.
That was crazy. And this Rubik is definitely public enemy #1 right now for the SF.
Has to be.
Has to kill him first.
How do you find him is the question. He's been really good at staying hidden. I mean,
Yeah,
even in that
they
earlier
need
fight,
the kiss. They actually need the kiss. I think they
just to get the scout, you think?
yeah, somehow
Jeez, that's crazy.
use it like the Shivas, give vision, and then because it's not really important that the kiss lands for the damage. They have more than enough damage coming from SF and Sven, right? They just need to see the heroes to start the fight.
Yeah, and I mean, with the level 25, the additional kisses coming in, you launch them at such a high frequency that you're gonna be able to provide quite a bit of vision. I think you're right. I think she just has to literally press kisses, refresh, press kisses again, and that's how they try and start the fight. What a crazy game state we've come to. 2 more minutes until the tier 5 items come into play here and things get even scarier. Helm of the Undying on some of these heroes could go such a long way.
Well, we get a skewer.
Crazy.
It's
Get a skewer out.
watermelon in your base.
It's not a lot of damage. He gets the Ravage off. Bob gets the BKB, but the RP is stolen again. Channeling the heal, it's not gonna be enough. SF immediately dies Tino as well. What else can they find here? Palos looking for an opportunity now. Jumping onto skill lane, but immediately lifting and the Aeon Disc making it happen. Bob now has hexed up KSH, but can you really fight? There's a second Rolling Thunder coming in, and the buyback on the Tide Hunter is ready to rejoin the fight. Booster travels in. YG, they're biding their time here, but so are Execration. They don't feel pressed to go, but that's gonna mean the God Strength slowly but surely is gonna run out. And if they want, YG can head back into the Roche Pit, get that Aegis, and give it another go.
So the 2 buybacks were on what? Magnus and SF for Execration, and 1 on the Tide. So
Yeah.
YG definitely took a very, very good trade there. And they could choose to, like you say, go for the Roche here, but they are really, really careful. You know, I feel like they were considering whether to hold the icon and wait for them to come or to move to the Roshan. So they decided to go to the Roshan. By the way, it seems like Execution is not going to be here on time. So that was a good call. Not
I mean,
holding
they also
Hang on.
just don't have the God Strength, right? Which means that it's so impossible for them to fight. You're maybe at most hoping for 1 skewer back, and if you're lucky, no interruptions or anything like that, and you get a Requiem kill, and that's it. It's such a difficult game for the side of Execration. And the impossible task just got way harder with the Ursa and his second life again.
And he basically has 3 lives, right? If you count the buyback plus boost of travel.
That's true. I still can't believe Execration have not lost the game yet. I think that's what's really surprising to me. It felt like after that huge catch in the bot lane.
I think they're definitely very resilient. And their lineup is very, very good in running high ground. That's why it's very hard. And now 16 minutes, so I imagine YG want to look for some treasure. Get some worthy treasure for themselves. Some Undying, Helm of the Undying. Some Fallen
Found the
Sky.
Mad Stone out. Shanks on the front lines might just get caught out immediately. They don't want him, but they'll have to settle. Shanks doesn't have a buyback. That's a
That was
4v5
actually
situation.
probably a smart move, right? Because if you're Execution, you're thinking, oh, 60 minutes, right? They're probably farming neutral items. right?
Exactly.
So he tries to go out to maybe farm it, and they were waiting for him.
One gaping hole in the base that they didn't have detection or wards out for. I mean, even if they did, it's smoke, right? Like, you're not going to be able to see that one coming. It's not Megas just yet, but now they can retreat. Now they can comfortably farm up the Mad Stone for their tier 5 items. Let's see what they end up getting here. I mean, the game is very much already in their favor. 6k gold lead at this stage doesn't really mean much again, but it's just the control of the map and how strong these individual heroes are. It's so difficult to kill this Ursa. Bobby's found his way out to the offside of the map, and Bob, skill lane. Oh, is there a blink available? You can't. There's no idea where Bob went.
That was some insane, insane move.
That
there.
was actually crazy. Like, I thought for sure Bob was gonna get caught and just killed. Then the rest of the team would like Booster Travels in or some shit. Spider Legs completed for KSH. That is disgusting. Book of the Dead for Skill Lay. You got Helm of the Undying for the Disruptor. Another Book of the Dead for the Tidehunter. My goodness, these are really scary. Helm of the Undying as well. So tier 5 items fully equipped. These Necro units gonna come through. Palos really needs to be careful about killing himself on those, but Mega Creeps very easily attained.
AD rune on angle. I'm looking to
Yikes.
fight on this rune. Still 2 minutes on the Aegis though. Execration just
Yeah.
hugging the Ancient pretty much. This is the place where you can skewer them into the fountain.
Rolling Thunder.
Oh, he got him!
Full elimination. He's gone. You can't even heal him in time. You're trying to channel, but to what avail? 5 seconds left until the Snapfire's even up. It's a 3v5 for now. They don't even need to stress. They can just take their time, slowly whittle, and force the side of Execration into an uncomfortable position. Will they keep going here? They haven't baited out the God Strength. They haven't baited out the Magnus just yet. Approaching with
They are
caution.
waiting
Look at,
for the next row, I think. 30 seconds. 25
yeah, why
seconds.
not? Don't have enough time for the SF to come back here. You don't have the Hand of God as well. No tier 5 items for Execration here. And long day just got so much longer for them. Even with ending those earlier games like, at a pretty quick pace. Oh, I can't even say that. KSH, he's just in, and where's the save of Paddles? Finally the RP, but again stolen. Skill Lake, he's coming in to give it back to them. You buy back on the Sven, you still have your God Strength, you didn't get the chance to pop it. YG, they're taking a lot of damage from these kisses, but there's no chase available. Paddles just can't get in because of the gush, and now KSH. Turning around the second roll, Army Palos, that's the second RP, and he has nowhere to go. This game is done. You don't have your carry, you don't have your SF, and you don't got any more chances. They hang on till the bitter end, but Execration, it'll be the end for them in this game number 2. As what a comeback from YG here. That early game didn't look the hottest, but on the back of KSH and some of these other players coming up big, YG are able to find the early game and playing to this formula of hitting their timing and running you down. We'll see whether it's possible for them to pull this one off. Game number 3, folks. First one on our stream today, but not the first one for Southeast Asia. We were right, I guess, at the start of the day when we said anything can happen. And what's currently happening in these close qualifiers is Yangon Galacticos are making a run for it, bringing the heat to Execration. Of course, while you're here, it's just the kickoff, right? There's so many more qualifiers and regions popping off right now. But I believe Boom versus Reconics was already finished. There was a 60-minute almost game number 1. Boom Esports were able to take that one, and then they subsequently were able to 2-0 Reconics. What is this? What are they talking about? No more partner to tip.
You're more interested than the all chats, than the actual Dota game, That's what I noticed.
I mean, how often do players be all chatting? We talk about Dota for like 50 minutes at a time.
I mean, do you not understand you're paid to talk about Dota instead of
Oh, damn.
keeping track of
Okay.
who is tipping who?
Okay, sure. Okay, talk to me about the Dota then, Winter. What would you like to discuss?
I would like to discuss the favorite meal of a hero like Bane.
Yes, this is why they pay you the big bucks. Year after year, they invite Chanlit Bin to the International for this very reason. Early game skirmish though, sleep. Loon is just gonna drop to the deck. Way too much damage from this trio. And Palos actually finds a block of Zorain, who is in quite a bit of trouble. I think he should be able to TP out here, but not with Shang still stalking him. So at the very best, this is gonna be an extended chase. Now it's far too late to TP, so you're just gonna have to accept that death. A great early start for Execration.
It's better to die than TP. You're gonna lose so much health. If he started to TP earlier, I think he would have
Maybe
wished-
made it,
he
not
would,
like
he would have wished that he should have just died.
die. Okay. Oh, this young PH guy, every single game he's got some issues. I hope his setup, like somebody on Yangon needs to upgrade his setup, because it was microphone one time and then it was microphone a second time, and then you won't believe this, Winter, but I believe his microphone had another problem. And then now he's saying some key problem. Someone please get this man a new setup. If you are a peripheral sponsor or anything like that, maybe YG is a team you want to reach out to. Especially if they start making a deep... I mean, again, we go back to the overall storyline of this team, just not really a roster that has really made waves past close qualifiers, ever. So if they were to defeat Execration here, I think this would be perhaps one of the best performances from them that we've seen.
A breakthrough. They figured something out. The formula is correct this time.
The formula is for Protect 1, just as the way we've played it for 10 years, but this time around we've perfected how to make it work in a meta that people are not even running it. So, honestly, pretty interesting. We'll see how it pans out for them this time around.
The meta feels more like 3 Protect 2.
Yeah.
You have 2 carries on the side lane competing for farm, you know, but they have a truce because there's ancient camps on both sides. Right? So you draw a line and you tell your neighbor, do not cross this line. This is where I'm going to be planting my vegetables. You do not cross this line and use this sword.
Yeah, if I see you pick my peppers, I'm gonna come for your head. Don't play around with me.
Yeah,
I got a farmer's market to attend, like don't...
And the 3 people in the middle are like constantly trying to stop
just
them from
non-stop bashing heads, right? Like just fighting non-stop. Stop bullying my farmer!
You want to be in the middle, right? The 6 man in the middle fighting for the map.
Yeah, it's honestly more fun that way. Okay, what would you prefer? Do you prefer being the 6 man in the middle fighting, or do you prefer being the side lane farm?
6 man, bro. Why do you even ask me that question?
No, I mean, some people prefer the peace and quiet of just tranquil farming, and you know, that's like most core players.
I would
love to be left
recommend Tai Chi.
Nice little morning exercise. Yeah, Dota's not the game for you if you don't want to be stressed, that's for sure. Hard to really remain chill in these high pressure situations. Especially last game, right? I think things got so complicated and convoluted for Execration past a certain point. I don't really blame them for slipping up at the end, but definitely a lot...
coming top. Sorry.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
No, all good. That's a great shout out. Young PH with the early TP. I mean, we talk about the bounty making early rotations, but the Nature's Prophet, that is a factor as well for him.
Oh, he's in trouble. He just used TP. Bob wants to kill him and dive him without TP, but Bob is... Oh my god, I see the old Bob. I see the shadow of the old Bob.
No, not now, Bob. Stay inside. Don't come out. Gonna be able to TP.
That
I mean, he
was
tried for
some
a...
crazy dive, but it was understandable, but reckless at the same time.
He gets out with his life here. It's almost like nothing happened. He's just gonna miss like maybe a wave or 2. Not the biggest of deals.
When he saw the MP using his TP, that's why he thought it was a good moment to
A glimpse in the top lane. Really, I mean, Zorin, he's so tanky with the boots, and hell, they'll even block off CML, the transference. Gonna push Zorin back, but I think it should be enough damage to finish off the Disruptor. Zorin gets the kill first, so he does walk away with the EXP, but that means solo EXP for Palos on the TA.
Yeah, not a good trade, I think, overall. But this is what you get when you have a Earthshaker position 4, right? He doesn't really offer a lot of laning presence. So whatever kill you get for a trade, you should just be happy.
This is what you talked about as well, Winter. We're seeing the Bane just mirror the Bounty's movements, preventing him from really getting any ganks off. It must be so frustrating when you're just trying to maybe set up a Janada or some sort of a play, and there's an angry Bane there ready to sleep you.
Angry.
Yeah, it's like it's what we said. Get off my core, man. Like, what do you do? It's my soil.
But Bane doesn't strike me as an angry hero.
Have you heard him laugh? That dude's freaky as hell. Can you imagine pissing Bane off and then he opens his mouth at you?
He's not by default angry. By default angry is like Ursa, you know? Like he just wants to rip people apart, you know?
Sure, yeah, sure. A lot of angsty, edgy voice lines. I can see that.
Or Sven, you know, like yelling all the time.
Ah! Yeah. A lot of edgy heroes in Dota 2
Bane
for sure.
sounds really calm and scary.
Yeah.
It's like walking over, dropping a nightmare on your face, you know, hiding in trees. Nighttime now, you know, this is the best time to hunt people as Bane because you have night vision.
Yeah, or maybe just protect your Sven from the onslaught of Eidolons here. KSH able to waddle away there.
I mean, I
Still
don't
the
know
Fairy Fire.
what can you do as a Bane against all the Enigma babies.
Yeah.
Not a
I
good
guess apart
place
from...
to stay.
Yeah. Nightmare Man versus 6 astronomical babies. Who would win? Whatever the case is, it looks like young PH is not in a winning position. He's gonna get glimpsed back, stunned up. The TPs are coming through, but as you said, it's an Earthshaker support, and his TP is so damn slow. The sleep being disrupted by the Disruptor. Very fitting for him. As CML gonna get Was that a blood grenade thrown up by Loon? That was certainly ambitious. Maybe hoping for a fissure block of some sort, but Skill couldn't find the angle.
Yeah, he's not used to having a position for support in the game because he knows deep inside his heart that Earthshaker support is not gonna work.
Okay. Still a hater, I see. Not really believing. When he lands a 5-man Echo Slam, that's when you'll regret it.
Yeah, and then you click on him, he's level 5.
Okay, well look at that. Look at that, he's just blocked off CML. The kill would not be possible without him.
What, you're just gonna be on this Earthshaker train the whole game.
I love you've set me up, okay? You know, the fact that you've gone in with this whole Earthshaker hate makes it even funnier to prove you wrong.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Okay, well now they're making a play for the 7-minute Wisdom Rune, and because, like you mentioned, Earthshaker is a useless support, he's not able to contest. They're gonna lose that EXP. I mean, they're sleeping the Bounty Hunter now, but there really isn't anything else they can do. Maybe they get a kill onto Shanks. Yeah, okay, there's the brain set. Doom gonna come in as well, still not level 6 himself. He's gonna take a lot of damage. This is not where you want to be, even with the TP on Young PH. Bob, he is putting out way too much, and now he's hiding in the tree line. Palos starting to get the punches out, but I don't know whether he should be sticking around for long. He's gonna try and challenge the Bane. It's a 2v1 situation right now, but Young PH, his damage resistance has run out. The brain set comes into Palos, but it doesn't heal anything into the refraction, and now Palos, he doesn't have a TP, but he has 20 stick and a lot of minus armor. Young PH, I don't think he needs the TP. I think he can go for the kill. The Sprout off the mark, and Zorin can't get the catch. Out come the voice lines, and Palos, he's feeling good.
Yeah, he's definitely feeling himself right there. They got, what, 2 kills on the TA, and they got the Wisdom Shrine. Easy peasy, and on top of that, Tino has claimed the tower.
Tino with the tower take, love to see it.
Yeah, as long as Tino is taking towers and not trying to skewer people, you're happy.
Yeah, no, enough of that trying to land an RP thing. Just, you know, stick with what you're good at. Zorin up here in the top lane, still level 5. Doesn't have the Doom to retaliate, and even if he did, don't think he'd be able to get that kill. Bob coming back up here again, and now they're looking to try and contest the stacks. Teleporting away. Couldn't get the stun off, but the glimpse catches him in time. CML fast on the fingers. My goodness. Very, very nicely done. And the Disruptor train, it's starting to roll, Winter.
Tough. What can you do, you know? Disruptor is gonna... He even has like 2-3-0, you know? He's just splitting the game, you know? Like he knows that they are just gonna be hunting people left and right with the bounty and the lash. So he doesn't even need 1 point in the next game.
No. You don't need to keep them there, because by the time the kinetic field goes up, they'll already be dead.
They're already dead.
Yeah. You're fencing in a corpse or something, it's not gonna move. Doom out onto Tino, he's in a rough spot, and Skillmate, the most useless position for Earthshaker, able to block off that kill. Very nicely done, despite his shortcomings. The Doom already used Godsring coming out, though Bob might be in a bit of trouble there. Able to get the kill with the Sprout damage, and they're gonna claim Shanks as well. So bringing many members of Yangon Galacticos here to respond to the aggression of Execration, that's what you need to do.
Outnumbering them. The TA can't really get there in a moment's notice. So yeah, Execration, they're beating more than off they can chew. Trying to just go for that again, you know, the +1. The +1 is always a bait, you know. They killed the first hero, and then they got, I think they lost the Anima from the Doom. They are probably saying that, oh, no more Doom, you know, you can go, you know. And then the Sven shows up.
Yeah, not happening after that, the God Strength. Yeah. I mean, really, good recognition from KSH, right? Because he understands that his damage is relevant here, and he can make an impact if he joins this fight.
Just the God Strength, right? Just by throwing 1 stun actually was, I think, more than enough for that fight. Like, sometimes you just need to be there and tank some damage to throw 1 stun. It's just that, yeah. The good carries know how to use that.
Oh, Young PH being pulled back in, but I guess that's the one downside of not having the kinetic field. You couldn't really keep him in place for the Lash to make ground there. Palos, look at how farmed he is. 1k gold above anyone else in the game. Dragonlance Falcon Blade completed. Looking at that Deso now. He is gonna hit some insane timing, similar to KSH in game number 1.
I mean, this is not as straightforward as the first game, you know. But if you go late against these Doom, Sven, and the Earthshaker support, you're definitely gonna struggle as a TA. There's too many, like, I think, quote-unquote counters towards you. The Bane Grip, the Doom, the Sven with the armor, and the God Strength. I mean, God Strength, I guess it's not much of a problem because you have refraction. But even the Nature's Prophet, I think, with the Vessel plus Shard build, this is very annoying for TA in the team fights if you don't have BKB. I kind of like his Zyre
Shard, late mail, just being as annoying as possible. Trying to clear out this triangle before the invasion comes in. Here comes Execration though. Is this really a fight you want to take on Yangon Galacticos?
Someone is getting glimpsed who it is.
Well, you can't see anyone else. The teleport away from the Nature's Prophet. He's out to safety. Somehow nobody dies on Yangon.
He's hiding in the
They
trees.
still catch Zorin.
Oh.
He's fogging them.
Oh, they found him. How did they?
I
How?
don't think
Was
they
it the
can get
TA?
it.
如何呢？有能
I was more curious on how they actually saw him. Might have been the
Because
TA's vision.
Yeah, the TA just walked out to the left, right?
I don't know if it was the bounty though. It was the bounty like giving vision from the. It might have been the bounty.
Like a butt crack in the tree line or something like that, right? And
Just
now
one moment.
you're gonna try, but that's a tier 2 tower. CML cannot tank that many hits.
有能
They're
者
not really gonna get the catch onto Zorin. They've been trying for like 1 minute, sticking out in this top side triangle area, and sure they're controlling the Ancients, but you know, they aren't really finding any kills. Meanwhile, Young PH is farming, the Sven is farming. It's not too bad for Yangon.
When they brought the two supports to smoke at bot, so probably anticipating a move here to go on the MP, which is actually quite a logical, I think, anticipation. Because usually with all this MP Dawnbreaker Underlord heroes that have a global teleportation, the enemy tends to gank that hero.
Radiant's middle
Yeah.
tower is under attack.
Zorin. Again being set up on, in comes the blink from Bob. That's the reveal right there. And Zorin thinking about the Doom, but a nice illusion rune confuses him just for a moment. And the rest of Yangon can't come through and help their Bane. They are all busy playing in the bot side of the map.
Looking for that juicy enigma, yeah?
Yummy.
Wait, Bane is not even level 6, so
Yeah.
even if he finds him, he can
Ah,
ride.
that's that Wisdom Shrine, right? Like, the fact that they lost it, it's slowing down the support's ability to try and find these pickoffs. Mid tower going down as well. Bob feeling very good about himself. All the bits of a recipe for success for Execration.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They are on the move now.
Scan.
They know that the enemy is on the bottom side because they were at the top side. So if they could find... The Bane is the last person they want to find. They could find... Even the Earthshaker is good. He is so close to Dagger. Quite close to
Oh, this is a good high ground position, but Skillay showing himself on the wave. That's going to be easy. Blink in for Bob. Shanks is looking for more though. They spot out Loon, get the first kill, get the Thunder Strike, and ready for a potential glimpse back. Sleep up the Bounty Hunter, but the track's already out, so they don't really need him for much else. He can just take a little nap while Bob does all the hard work. Double kill for the Lesh as he just finished up his... That was like all the gold for his Kaya. He's going to have that flying out in no time.
Yeah, thanks to the track kills, He has 7 kills. I wonder how many of them had track kills, At least a couple. It's going to be hard for Yangon Galacticos to play the map. They can't really push out creep waves without showing with their heroes. I mean, they can do it with Shaker, but it's a support Shaker, right? So he needs a long time before he can do it. And if you look at the other heroes, like MP has to show, Doom has to show, and nobody has Helm, So I think by that logic, it's going to be very hard for them to play the map.
Yeah, it's a helmless game. I thought that the Enigma was gonna... Is it not?
So a helmless game is a harmless game.
Yeah, like nothing's happening. Like we're not playing at the same intensity. Like there's no creeps on the map. There's no like little Pokemon battles happening in lanes and like no hero showing. There are no helms in this game. Zorin gonna get pulled back. No follow-up though. Able to just movement speed his way out of that. He's got the Cobalt Aura, he's got the Phase Boots, got the drums, got the Cobalt's Cup as well. I mean, he tries. There might be a
Still gonna
sleep to
die?
save. Loon gonna try. Loon. That's not what you wanted. And now you'll die. That must have been a... That
So
has to
he
be a
cast-
misclick.
Yeah, he
Like, 'cause-
casted the grip, right? I think he casted
Did
the
he cast
spells
the grip as well?
Yeah, I think he casted his spells in the wrong sequence. That's what happened. I think he messed up his hotkeys or something. Maybe he wanted to...
Radiant's top tower
I don't know, like he wanted to do something
No, so
else.
what it seemed like was that he was trying to cast the Nightmare on the Doom and then grip. But then instead of casting the Nightmare on the Doom, I think he accidentally walked up to the high ground and then in a panic tried to click Nightmare on the Doom, but he clicked it on himself, woke up from the sleep, and then tried to grip and self-cancelled it.
Because
That's
he
just,
already killed the command before that. That was
I guess
probably why
so.
he gripped after.
That's tough. And sometimes you try and we talk about how this Bane has the potential to really put a wrench in the plans of Execration. It's not really looking that way, at least not in that engagement.
Well, what can you do, you know? Not a Bane player. Not a...
I wonder about that.
not a
But right now, we're sure that Palos is a TA player. He is top of the net worth by 2k. Very, very happy with this game state right now.
And they're gonna get the Roshan. From Dire side, getting the 15 to 20 minute Roshan is always a big bonus. A huge dent into the Radiant side schemes of coming back into the game.
8k gold lead already this early on is kind of detrimental. We talked about how Yangon's draft is slower and we're seeing that in action. The
And
Doom,
you
the
know
Nature's
why?
Prophet.
You know why?
Oh, does it have to do with perhaps they're supporting... Okay. On the bright side, all that time, he has Blink now. Copium. I'm sure he will find impact now.
Does he have enough levels? Okay, he has enough levels.
Yeah, he's got levels.
3 points.
He's got
aftershock.
three aftershock. But he went for the resonating ridge instead of the tectonic implicator. Oh, okay. Bot. Losing that Aegis immediately. It's a nice black hole onto 3. Where's the follow-up though? Young PH and Skill controlled in place. They still haven't used the Echo, but now spotted out by the bounty means that that's not going to be very viable. Young PH dropping to the deck, Tino not able to be finished off, and they get the kill onto the Doom as well. Meanwhile, Skill still has the Blink, still has the Echo Slam available, can come in, and it's a huge one! Eliminates the Lash! That's what you're looking for, and the grip onto the bounty as well. Well, turns out this Earthshaker hero's got its merits. KSH being glimpsed back. Can't further the chase though. Still have a Blink. Do you really want to go for this? Is Skill gonna take that regen rune? There he goes.
Palos
Okay.
is gonna slap him one time
什么呢？
to kill him.
又能怎？
that's true. Here comes Palos, spotted by a ward though. They could set up behind the tree line for him. CML will show now, and CML will go down. This one's easy.
Nice KS.
Gonna sleep him. Tino looking for an angle. Tino, is this really where you want to blink? I guess they'll try. Nice blink away from Palos, getting out of trouble there. Surprised that he even managed to get that off, and Loon is just gonna die to the creeps. God damn.
No, he died
Palos
to
with
the
attack range.
he died to the TA trap damage.
I think it was TA traps, and also TA might have been throwing out some auto attacks either onto a trap or either to try and deny an Eidolon. Some very nice plays there from Palos. You can tell that this guy is so comfortable on the hero.
Yeah, I think they were surprised by the dagger. Yes, they definitely didn't know he had dagger there. Now they're gonna be a lot more careful with this dagger. 60 seconds before he has his next Echo Slam up. And TA is practically gonna be able to run in now. He's only worried about the Doom at this point.
There is a Doom available, but they're on different sides of the fight right now, and Palos just instantly cleans up that support kill. Looking at the Doom in question right now, daring him. Why don't you do me? I'm sure you want to. Out comes the spell though. Is this really what you wanted, Palos? Now you're in a compromising position, and now you're dead. Sven's gonna come through the back line, kill off Tino with one swipe of his sword, but Bob's gonna come in as well. Both teams just swinging and missing,
the
swinging
Blade Mail.
and hitting the Blade Mail, returning a lot of damage onto Bob. This is not a target they can commit onto, and they need to be careful about KSH, but they have high ground vision, allowing for the glimpse. Young PH now setting up onto CML, and KSH, he's found another. Sister Shroud being very, very annoying with the evasion, but still with the sentry lingering in the area, Shanks manages to dive out of that location and put in the Shadow Walk. The Sprout damage, it's still doing it like he cleaves! He cleaves off the creeps and gets that kill. Nice style points there for KSH. He's saying to the TA, you're not the only one with side blades, I got a big blade of my own.
Well, that is some exchange, you know, for YG getting themselves back into the game. I think it all started with a Doom on the TA. I think Palos kind of jumped the gun a little too soon there, going for that kill on the Doom, and then he got Doom, and I felt like everything just kind of went downhill there. You know, they lost so many heroes, they lost the Lash, they lost the Disruptor, they lost the Bounty under 4 kills, you know, on the run there.
A large part of that is the vision that they were fighting around, right? In the earlier part of the fight,
Yeah.
Execration, they were able to
They
establish
have
that high ground.
to
board,
respect the Doom, you know, like the Doom is something that is going to give a lot of problems to TA.
yeah.
I think that is literally the best way to kill a TA right now if he gets Doom, you know. Even the grip can't be so reliable, there's a lot of ways to cancel it. They have to make
the Doom
sure
is
that
eternal.
does not happen. Enigma, I actually didn't really get to talk about his items a lot. You know, he's going Doom BKB with Midas this game. I don't know if I'm a fan of it. I kind of prefer the Aura build, you know, with Pipe.
Yeah, I get what you mean. It's
I mean,
certainly...
you're buying BKB into a Bane and Doom, you know, so I'm not sure
Yeah.
what's the logic there.
I mean, even at that point, maybe a Linken's would be better, but I guess he's just kind of worried about the long-range Earthshaker cancel, which would be... probably feel a little silly.
Uh-oh, there used to be a Disco Pony there.
Yeah, nope, not anymore. Party's over. Bob, you know, probably starting to get a little bit concerned about this current game state. This is where the Earthshaker starts to... all jokes aside though, if you get past the early hump of this support quote-unquote being useless, he gets to his shot, he gets to his blink, and suddenly there is so much disruption in the fights. The fissures can just break things up, set situations up for YG where they can find these heroes, one on a grip on one side, one with the Doom on the other, and these kills will be very hard to pull off. Shanks is on the front line ready to try and break a smoke though. Have that dust, immediate grip out. Link away from Palos though. Trying to look for more. Young PH pings out the TA here. Do you have a chase? Zorin doesn't have a blink, but he is just trucking forward very quickly. Hurricane Pike available. Tino stopping them with a Malefice and a Glimpse available as well. Here comes Bob though, looking at Zorin, but you gotta be careful. There is a big blade mail there, returning quite a bit of the damage, and the aftershock getting Bob a little bit lower, but it's not going to be enough to finish him off. NP tries to come in, but it's not going to find him. Instead, he finds Tino, and this is not really the target that he wanted, but he's also very difficult to just take down. It has to be the TA to do it, as Young PH in an awful spot. A bit too over-ambitious there, trying to snipe the back line when the front line wasn't even occupied.
And even if he gets the kill there, was it going to be worth it there? I'm not so sure. I mean, the Lash is like kind of similar net worth, like almost similar. I mean, I always feel like if you're similar net worth, and then you go for a trade like this, I mean, I guess the fact that they are behind in net worth quite a bit, you know, so maybe that's what will make it actually worth it if he gets the kill. He was gonna die no matter what, you know, when he went for that play.
There was no extraction plan. He was just
no
all
plan
in
B.
there. No. No plan B. Yeah, that's tough. Okay. Well,
you
we're
can say
reaching
it's no plan B or no plan at all. You know? Yeah, either I get the kill or I don't. You know?
The plan was to TP in and vibe out. Like, we'll figure out what happens afterwards. The blink away just in the nick of time. Nice skill A, getting out with his life there.
Yeah, clears the creep wave, you know. That's what you want to do as Shaker. Delay the game. Just keep clearing the wave, delay the game, you get more levels. But again, because he has this passive is actually, like, I think weaker when you're going to mid lane. It's better in like the early game when you're low level. When you're playing with your fissure, with your support. But when it comes to the mid lane game, it is not as good as the tectonic build up.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's so good late game with the tectonic build up is it works with the fissure. So it's very easy to get a lot of like stun to disable people when they are trying to channel spells around the team fights or just trying to hit heroes in the team fight, you know. Because the AoE is actually so absurd in the team fight.
Yeah, it's gonna be, you already talked about this, but the TA, it feels like the list of problems for her are so long as you get later and later. You got the Doom, you got the Sven, you got the Warcry, you got the Sleep, you got the
Grip,
you know, all the Bane spells, Grip, yeah. Trying to find something here. But Yangon, again, they've been really good at dodging these smokes the entire series, win or lose, and now they're ready to fight. KSH looking for a target. KSH, he's found his target. Onto the Disruptor, no chance at a Static Storm. Now TPing in, buyback immediately. Disruptor trying to find an angle. They've slept out the bounty, which means no tracks as well. They still haven't needed to use the Doom or the Echo Slam just yet. Zorin being spotted out, pulled back into the left side of the fight. Not really where anyone can capitalize on. And you've used the buyback at this point on CML. Your bounty's out for 30 and you have found nothing.
And they were really, I think, stressing that fight a little bit too much though. Felt like they kind of have to like play around their vision a lot more. They were walking up the ramp with the bounty and he got caught. Like you kind of have to expect there's gonna be sentries around those, you know, choke points. You know that those are very common sentry spots. You know? And then he got caught. He dies. I mean, the disruptor was dead even before that.
Certainly not playing with the same amount of gusto.
Yeah, I mean that's why I prefer like them going aura on Enigma, and then you move to the tower, you group up around the aura, and then you hit the tower, right? And then you want them to come on you so that you can black hole them. When you're running up blind like this, it's quite difficult.
Yeah, I mean it might not be the Magnus, but it feels like another game where Tino, he's just struggling to find these angles. You talked about the benefit of the Enigma, right? You can play for both the black hole and the auras if you go for that aura build, but right now he doesn't really have either. He hasn't found the setup and he doesn't really have auras to back his team out, so they're just getting picked off one by one. Now there is an AD rune on Palos and he's making this Roche work for it. In comes the smoke though, they're ready to try and initiate. TP in from Young PH, trying to find an angle. Palos blinks up to the top side, uses that Hurricane Pipe very wisely, but KSH is on the prowl, looking at
Palos
the
is
TA
dead.
and the TA is dead. Zorin just buys all the attention away and before he goes down, he doesn't even die. Gets the Doom off, you glimpsed him back, but the Pipe Aura keeping him alive. And the Sven, he's just gonna come in and clean up shop. Shanks ends up going down, throws out the Shuriken to get the kill, sure, but it is so worth it, as you can now use the rest of the God Strength, maybe clean up this Roche. I mean, it is expiring, so I don't really know whether you have the damage for it. KSH actually gonna have to pop that BKB to prevent the glimpse. Oh, these games have gotten so messy as we got later and later into the day.
Well, Shaker has spotted. He's waiting for a glimpse. Does he have a teammate to back him up? Someone's tipping in. It's the Enigma.
Young PH is still there though. CML, trying to find a glimpse at. Pull back in. Loon there with the sleep save if needed. Try and pop that one out. Dodge the last few strikes, but that Midnight Pulse is going to finish the job. Young PH though, speaking of finishing the job, gets the kill on the support, and now Bot, he's dived a bit too deep. He's going to get gripped up and killed. Execration fumbling over themselves here in this game number 3.
Well, this is not looking good at all, you know, even though they have like a 5 killie, but it just feels like the game is already slipping into Yangon Galacticos' favor in terms of the lineup, right? Their lineup is starting to power up with the support Shaker, the Doom, the Entity. The T is having so many problems in the team fight. Any one of those things happening, I think the Doom, the Grip, or even, you know, getting featured into an echo would mean that they were going to lose the team fight, you know. It is left.
Nice play there from Palos. Managed to get the kill onto Zorin and the Hurricane Pike out to safety on Young PH. I think Young PH, he's reached a point now where he is such a threat. He can just TP in Blade Mail and it's so hard to commit onto him. We'll sleep save him out of that Midnight Pulse. KSH around the area, they spot out the Sven. This could be tricky. They need to watch out for the dive in. KSH already spots out Shanks, trying to find the target. Tino has to dodge out to the side. You have that Doom available, but you also have the Echo Slam, and Tino, he is so wary of that. Making up to the high ground now, still looking for a black hole opportunity, forcing the BKB out from KSH. Full retreat. He black holes the creep wave. That is not what you want. Didn't even need anything to stop it, and Tino, he has just not had a good past few games. Started from the Magnus, it's been a bit weak from him, and
he had so many chances to black hole. They gotta know that the Bane didn't have grip, and there was no Doom there.
I mean,
no
they
way,
were worried
there
about
was
the
actually,
Echo Slam, but
they had no way to
how is that gonna happen?
They had no way to cancel the BKB black hole. They just needed to BKB and black hole him, and that was like a kill on the Sven.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because the
Execration, they're losing the plot
used
here a
the
little
grip
bit.
in like the top fight, right? It was just like a minute ago,
Yeah.
maybe a minute and a half ago, but they didn't really keep track of it. So it means that they are actually crumbling under the pressure, you know, like it's hitting them, you know. They were really comfortable.
Starting to lose.
Yeah,
a
they
lot
were
of
really
these,
comfortable in the first game, but then the second game, because of the manner that they lost, it is now getting there.
Yeah, it's definitely rocked their confidence a little bit. The protocols, the discipline, the smart map plays, the precision, everything we've complimented Execration for, starting to slip out of their hands, starting to lose control. And when that happens, you kind of go back, I want to say, to your instincts, and sometimes the instincts don't serve you the best. We've talked about Bob and the shadow of Bob, the player that we used to know, be a bit sort of gung-ho with his dives in, and that's kind of what we've seen a bit more this game, right? He's committing in with the lash, finding himself in pickly situations that no one can really bail him out of.
Yeah, I also feel like he has to be buying like an armor item, right? He's queuing a hex, which I don't think is like the problem. It's not the catch, you know. It's more about like surviving, you know. He's dying to the Sven in like a couple of, like, I don't know, like 2 hits, 3 hits, and he's already dead. He needs a plate mail into the Shivas, you know. And right now, Yangon Galacticos, they're sensing blood in the water. One more good fight, they're gonna be in full control this game.
Nice play from CML, breaks the smoke and immediately blinks away, drops a static like thunder strike as well to spot out skill away. Game's back. Not sure whether you can commit for this kill though, especially the pipe aura. Look at Zorain just standing next to his buddy, knowing that his presence alone dissuades the chase.
Yeah, he's using his Aether Lens with the shot on the Thunder Strike very, very well now. He's being constantly annoying. Like disabling daggers and just giving vision.
The question is whether annoying is enough, whether annoying can bring you back from this kind of tough position. It's weird to say because Execration, they're still the ones with the gold advantage, but it feels like the game, I don't know whether it's in their control fully anymore.
And the TA just feels like she can't really do everything on her own right now. She needs the Black Hole to land, she needs Lash to help with some form of damage. I mean, the Enigma mainly has to just land like a decent Black Hole, you know. He has to find an opening.
Kind of goes back to what we were talking about with the Magnus for Tino last game as well.
And he has the Aghanim's completed now. So he has a lot of damage, but it's all about like landing them, you know. If you're not landing them, then it really doesn't matter.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Things are getting very, very tense right now.
Yeah.
Execration can't afford one more wrong move. Whereas
I'm just holding my breath. I feel like Tino, you gotta come up big for the squad. Like the whole of last game, the team was giving you some opportunities to make things happen, and that's the best thing they can do for you right now. Like try and find that vision with the Bounty Hunter and the Disruptor and play off of that. Mid lane, Doom showing, instantly gonna get tracked. The rest of the team off YG showing as well.
there's a gem on the Shaker.
Yeah. That makes things even more complicated. Glimpse in, skill lay. Gonna get caught out, Bob's in. Bob's BKB. They cancel the Fiend's Grip by themselves, but the Doom out onto the Lash. Nice Black Hole. That catches 2. That's what you needed from Tino, and the Sleep Save's not gonna be enough, but he turns around in the swipes, and the damage, it heals him back up to full. Paddle still looking for an angle, maybe try and turn things around though. Young PH there with the body. Still has this Blade Mail, Hurricane Pike available. This is a semi-carry who can do quite a bit of damage himself. The Sven be damned. The Nature's Prophet is here to play. Oh, that was supposed to go so much better. Execration, they finally found that Black Hole, but they just couldn't finish off the Sven.
Yeah, it was all thanks to the classic sleep save, right? That nightmare save by Lun there at the last moment, dodging, I think, at least one of the right clicks there. And the Sven didn't die, got his Satanic off, and yeah, that was a totally different story after that.
I mean, also, we gotta keep in mind that the Bane somehow cancelled his own Fiend's Grip again for like the second time this game. So, not sure whether there's something up with his hotkeys or whether it's tension getting to them. It doesn't seem to matter though, because Yangon Galacticos, they're still holding on.
And they have the benefit of the stronger scaling lineup. So, I don't think they are in any hurry right now. The net worth graph might look like it's tilting towards Execration, but this 8-9k lead doesn't really matter that much, you know, in the team fights. I feel like the Doom on the right hero, or even like a big Echo Slam on the Grip, they just have a lot more potential doing things.
Oh, look at Young PH.
To win the team fight. Whereas like this Bounty Disruptor, it felt like their time has already passed, you know.
Yeah. It does feel that way, and you haven't really made it to that next stage where you scale up as well. Meanwhile, look at the Nature's Prophet. Pharasma completed. That is a lot of damage. A little bit awkward on the timing. The Roach gonna start moving. Skill lay coming. Ooh. Nicely done.
That was think he was trying to blink in. That was close. He almost got the
Paddles. Gonna come in to try and contest though. Echo Slam onto just the solo TA. The high ground grip. Yeah, this is messy now. Seems like YG, they're the ones being flustered and now they might be punished for it. Trying to preserve the Aegis, but that might not be worth the squeeze. KSH gonna drop to the deck. That's the first life gone. Bob able to finish him off. And Execration, they punch right back. Young PH able to clean up the backline, but Palos right there to meet him. It's a 1v1 between Palos and Young PH. Bob there to even up the score, but the problem is he doesn't have any mana. Buyback now on the Disruptor, but now your TA is in trouble. Blink back up to the left side, dodging away from KSH. Very nicely done, and the Lotus reflects the sleep. Things are starting to fall apart for YG here as they tried to get a Roche. They didn't respect Execration, and now they are on the verge of losing everything. Just when we were starting to count out Execration, they are not to be denied. They will get all 5 heroes and the gem. What a turnaround fight from them.
Yeah, that was a very good fight after fumbling the Echo Slam initially. I think Execration realized that they were gonna be able to take the subsequent fight with the glimpses and just running up the ramp there, just instantly realizing weakness, just jumping on, and the Lash got the first kill onto the Sven, and after that Sven could never fight because he didn't have God Strength. So I think the fight was just really straightforward after that, once they realized that.
Execration, they're getting away with murder here. The fact that they were able to win that fight, snatch away the Sven's life not once but twice, and now get a free set of racks to boot, maybe even more. Now, they don't really know what the buyback status is of these heroes, but regardless, it's so many buildings cleaned up because of the TA's physical damage. And all that advantage that Yangon were building up. The Hex now complete for Bob as well. I mean, when the fights go like that, it looks easy. But it's been such a difficult situation for Execration up until this point.
Yeah, this is like a good team fight after like the last 20 minutes, 15 minutes at least. They didn't really find any good openings. They had the advantage, but they couldn't really build on it. Now the pressure pays off, Eventually, humans are gonna make mistakes, right? So if you keep your head up high, you keep pressuring, eventually you're gonna get an opening, and you have to just seize it when you see it.
Yeah. Execration absolutely latch onto that chance, bite on like a hungry dog, waiting for an opportunity this whole time, and they absolutely don't let it go. It's 1.5 lane of racks. And YG, maybe a slap in the face here, maybe getting a bit too carried away. At the end of the day, like you said, Winter, it's this Earthshaker that seems to be the sore spot for this lineup. Just kind of whiffing the Echo, getting caught out in front and not really able to find impact. The Hex slightly too late. He did not know that the Nature's Prophet was still waiting there. Thought he was a bit further away, maybe on the high ground. Misses out the chance for a big free pickup.
They're still in a pretty good position right now. I mean, what are they waiting? They already have everything they need to. I mean, Enigma has Refresher, right? And you can't really get any bigger than this on the Enigma. Refresher, Aghanim's Dagger with DKB.
It's kind of tough as well, right, for YG now because they lost the gem. So all they can do is group up around this ward that they're trying to play off. Because they can't clear these TA traps anymore. So if there's a trap that comes in and scouts them, that's just unlucky. They're holding that position though. This is what they need to do. Fissure comes out, maybe they're just trying to bait Execration in, who are fully smoked right now.
And they're doing the right thing, trying to run up like the mid wave, right? Because the creep wave is gonna go into the base. Somebody has to deal with it, and they're gonna jump on the first hero that's dealing with the wave.
Eidolon scouting out the Doom now. Bounty, gotta lay a couple of wards down. Forcing Sven away. Sven will just immediately pop his God Strength, go on the Bounty. That could be a dead Bounty. Forced up over to the right side. They can't get him. And the immediate Black Hole holding the Sven in place. There will be enough damage this time round. And silence up on the Doom. He never had a chance to pop his ultimate. They don't even lose the Bounty. Are you serious? 4 heroes out of the picture. And Execration. I mean, they were saying, Yangon, you had a nice little time. You had a nice little dream. Maybe staying up in the upper bracket this far. But not this time round. It's not happening. Not on our watch. 1 hero left in the Nature's Prophet. What could he alone possibly do? Especially when he gets caught out like this on the vision of the traps. Every single hero is such a free pick-off. He has buyback. He might just have to pop it. But YG, what kind of a defense can they muster? You got most of your heroes coming back in 20 seconds time. But It's the Sven that is the big damage, and he's not here to play.
And they have to be contented in defending against Mega Crits, but Execration, they're gonna just end the game right now. They probably feel like the Sven doesn't have buyback here.
Yeah, they would have bought back already. But even then, it's Sven without God Strength. Are you really that scared about it? A second black hole available for Tino, looking for the game, and they're looking to put them down under YG. There's the stun. Immediately going forward is Zombie. He just melts! Buyback immediately bombed. He's losing a lot of HP though. Young PH comes back in, but he dies instantly. They didn't have a chance to use the Doom. And the whole time, Tino is still waiting. What can you do here? Sven in 3 more seconds. But Tino, that's what he's saving the black hole for. Can you afford to risk it here? Execration wanting to close things out, and the Earthshaker just goes down. Surely you need to pop the Doom now, but he dooms himself, and the Sven comes forward. But that's what they were waiting for. KSH gonna pop that BKB. They still have the Enigma waiting for his chance to come in. The Grip gonna cancel. Palos actually gonna go down. The Grip canceling the black hole. Loon coming up in the nick of time, and KSH might be able to finish the job here. Just needs to find a swipe, needs to find any lifesteal, but he can't find it. And it's just the supports left without their carries. They can't finish the job, and YG, despite a valiant effort, their Execration will steal away this series from right under their noses.
That was definitely a lot closer